We are live from Chuck Todd's secret lair. You are watching Chris Cillizza, Chuck Todd. You've seen us separately. Now you see us together. We do
It's not
appear to
AI.
get. It's not AI. Chuck is
Not
look.
AI.
He's actually here.
Yeah.
You are watching our. I'm super excited about this. So we are doing a watch with in partnership with C-SPAN and YouTube, where Chuck and I have the very unique opportunity to watch the State of the Union and the Democratic response and all the pomp and circumstance before, during, and after,
Right.
and comment on it in real time and take your questions via the chat. So we are thrilled you are here. If you have questions, ask them. We will do our best to get to them. If you are not following Chuck on YouTube, on Substack, if you are not listening to the Chuck Toddcast on Spotify and wherever you get your podcasts, make sure you do those things. I think this has always been my dream, honestly, is to do something
Do it
like this.
over again. He'll be speaking. We will speak over him every once in a while. We will be able to, in the same way you may yell at your TV going, wait a minute, I don't think that's true. I wish somebody would jump in and say that's not. Well,
Yeah.
now we get to be those two stooges here. And I say this with, I think, for the most part, the way I plan to watch this with you is to sort of take my notes out loud, right? I've been doing this for 25 years with these speeches, and you're preparing, and I've had to prepare for you're going to have 30 seconds to wrap up what the meaning of the speech is.
Sum up the entire speech.
So you're taking your notes that you're going through, and there's always a lot of stuff that you leave on the cutting room floor. In this case, we get to you get to watch the cutting room floor in real time.
I mean, this is, and so what we're going to have, just so people know, what we're going to have before the speech, and we think the speech usually, Donald Trump will probably enter 9-ish, like walk in. But what we'll have before is we'll have the C-SPAN feed of, that's what you're looking at here.
And you'll have that the whole time. It'll always be the C-SPAN feed.
Yep.
And look, if you get tired of us, you can go to C-SPAN and sort of mute us.
And breaking news.
Yeah.
There's Donald and Melania Trump leaving. Now, for people who don't know.
By the way, this is a good sign if you're hoping he's going to be more timely.
I was going to say,
not go long.
Because it will not take him 28 minutes to drive from the White House to the Capitol. I will tell you that. If you're not familiar with D.C., it will take him 5 minutes.
We've seen him leave. Trust me, I've been at and everybody's like, Trump hasn't left yet. And it's like,
is he coming?
47.
Is he aware tonight?
Right. You're like, and they'll rush and get there because something's up.
Yeah.
This is one of those TV producers' dream scenarios. Oh, he may show up on time. Yep. And just so you're aware, the old TV pros are just like, just please let us wrap up this whole thing before 11 o'clock Eastern.
Totally.
Like, they don't care anything else. Like, and by wrap up, I mean the Democratic response in addition.
Yes. So let's see. Let's just so they are off.
Good sign that he wants to be on time.
And I'm just looking. I just want to look through and well, Chuck, while I look through the questions, tell us what were you looking at just before we came on?
Well, it was an interesting. Our friends over at National Journal, which is one of my old stomping
where
grounds.
we both once worked. Shout out to National Journal.
They put out a fascinating this chart of from Gallup. I guess the final time that Gallup's going to publicly release its job approval rating.
I mean, what the hell?
I know. I'm not going to get into that.
That's a whole other. That's the extra. That's the plus live stream where we tell our honest opinion.
That's so last week.
Yeah, anyway. But it is. Well, I won't swear. It does suck. Let's just say that.
Well, it's.
I understand it's a sign of the times. Yeah, but go ahead.
But they put all the trading ranges for each presidential term, meaning what was the high and the low, in that period of time, who had the widest trading range. George W. Bush with the widest trading range, a high of 90 at one point, job approval, and a low of 25 at one point. So of everybody going back to Johnson, and the smallest trading range, you guessed it, both terms of Donald Trump. The first term, his trading range was 34 was his low, 49 was his high. So far, the trading range, and since Gallup's not going to be doing this anymore, the smallest trading range of any president ever measured, 36 is the lowest job rating that they recorded, 47 is the highest. So, and that really is what is unique about
high
Trump.
Floor, low ceiling.
Very high floor, very low ceiling. I mean, he's, the lowest here, Nixon got to 24. You had George W. Bush. They claim Reagan got to 29.
I can't believe George
I don't
W.
buy
got
one.
that low. I mean, that's bad.
Well, it was bad. Gallup always did adults
second term post Iraq, while Iraq
and post
Katrina
and when the economy was starting to
slide.
His numbers really cratered in 08. But one reminder about Gallup is they've always done adults, which is why
explain to people who don't know the difference
when
between
you do just all adults.
Polling nerd break for Chuck. Go Chuck.
When you poll registered voters, it's just you're automatically going to get more people who are likely to vote.
Yeah,
and Republicans among the all adult population leans a bit more Democratic than the registered voter population. It's just the basic way to put it. So that's why you see among registered voters, his job approval rating is somewhere between 41 and 44. And among any of them that are all adults, that's the only, I've never seen a job rating for him below 40 that wasn't an adult sample versus a registered voter sample.
Yeah. So anyway, it is. I want let me get a few questions. So
just have predictions.
Yeah.
We like predictions too. I've been looking at the Kalshi market here on their predictions of the length of speech, which is one part of the prediction markets I'm comfortable promoting because that's actually
as opposed to what word will he say.
I can't stand that word business.
Seems very shady. That's like, is so-and-so going to get a rebound?
What's interesting, it's very well crowdsourced, a lot of money on it. 119 minutes appears to be the over-under, if you will. Can't bet an over-under.
Testing my bladder.
Which is, 2
I
hours.
literally just went to the bathroom. So I've tried not to drink a lot. I'm like preparing for a filibuster. I'm like Cory Booker on the Senate floor. I've dehydrated myself for days for this.
By the way, I know the chances are really low, but the total dork in me, the talking filibuster,
I'm totally for it.
Like,
totally. We're such dorks.
They will shut the Senate down for months.
I know.
I mean, we will see debate derailed. People don't really fully appreciate it. Like the clock can reset pretty much at any given time.
I know.
I mean, if John Thune actually,
I don't think he will,
gets hijacked by Mike Lee and his pals on this. I mean, I got one bag of popcorn.
Yeah, Chuck brought popcorn.
Popcorn.
We need the emoji.
Yeah, but I figured I actually do. This is my new little low-cal snack.
All right, so let me read a couple things. So here's Ega Ordle, love the Kane pride, and it's all about the you. And I just did that for Chuck to make Chuck happy.
This is why.
Just trying to keep Chuck happy.
Why I have home field.
You are looking, by the way, at Statuary Hall. So this is in the rotunda in the Capitol building. The speech itself will happen in the House. The Senate's not big enough, obviously, to have all those people. This is where you can kind of see this. You see where the lights are. Those are like correspondents doing stand-ups. It's where the members will process through. It's where they will get interviewed afterward.
If you want to equate this to your Academy Awards, this is kind of the red carpet of Congress on the State of the Union night.
Yeah.
There's just not a red carpet.
Yeah, so you can see kind of, I'm pointing, even though you can see right in the middle there where a few people are walking. Yeah. Thanks a lot, C-SPAN. They just went away from Statuary Hall. But I will tell you, Statuary Hall is hilarious. Have you ever been in Statuary? I'm sure you have on State of the Union night. I mean, it is, talk about a mass of humanity. Mm-hmm. It's just everyone trying to interview everyone else, especially in this day and age. It's sort of fascinating. Well, I'm sorry, Chuck. I'm leaning.
What's fascinating?
Let me put this down.
No, you're good.
Okay, go ahead. Chuck bought a chair for me. Right, that's how we know we're serious.
Both, I think.
Well, no, it's just like an armrest situation on the plane. Is that yours or mine?
No, it's fine. But it is in this day and age with so many. You have independent media, legacy media. It is in some nights like this, you're doubling the size of a press corps.
I mean, there's just so many reporters. I see a bunch of people asking throughout this and keep asking your questions. We're just getting a lot of questions. So I'm sorry if I missed a specific one, but a lot of people are asking how many Democrats won't show up. I don't know that we have, Chuck's got his computer, he may look, but I don't know we have a guaranteed number. It's usually in the somewhat under 50 and more than 20 is what I usually say for the opposition party. It doesn't usually get
it's
to
usually
50.
in the 20s or 30s. Yeah. And that's almost always you see folks on that it's not the president's parties. There's always some level. I think if it gets closer to 50, that's a bigger deal and might be noticeable.
Yeah, I wonder about that. If there's like a chunk,
if we'll see it,
was it you? I think it might have been you, or it might have been this guy David Litt I was talking to, who's an Obama speechwriter. He's like, the only way that actually would matter is if you could get all
that's
the
what
Democrats
that's
not
me.
to show up.
Right. I think this is silly because I don't think it has the impact that you think it's going to have.
Yeah.
That if you're really going to do this, the only way you want to have an impact, have the visual impact, literally nobody. And I'm not advocating that, but I'm just saying if you're trying to make a point, 20 or 30 out of
You
200
can't really
isn't
tell.
really making
Yeah.
a point.
50 though, 45,
well, I'm
50,
curious.
60.
Let's see.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
You'll be able to tell.
Hey,
It'll be
I
like
wanna
Indiana versus Miami, who had a majority of the people.
That's 2 Miami references, and the speech hasn't even started yet. I want to note to Cool Sean, who's a member of my Diamond Club. Thank you, Sean, for being a member. He says, shout out to C-SPAN for supporting independent journalism. Look, I will say shout out to C-SPAN and YouTube for letting us do this because Chuck and I do not have the technological know-how to figure out how to do the speech and us talking and a chat and all this stuff. So this is the part that I actually love. There's Dick Blumenthal. Dick Blumenthal there, he kind of looks like a villain from Spider-Man. He was the Connecticut Attorney General of my youth. I think he was Attorney General for 462 years. And then he ran and became a U.S. Senator. So he's in the middle there.
This is the joint committee, I think, that puts this on, right?
So that's Tammy Baldwin.
Because they're all coming down
first.
And
there's a committee of, it's actually bipartisan,
it's a bipartisan
of people who set this all up, like the logistics of it. And, you know,
basically at this point, it's just the ability.
Yeah, because that's Jack Reed and John Hoeven. So that's Republican and Democrat. John Hoeven, fun fact, former chairman of the Bank of North
Andy
Dakota.
Kim and Gene Sheehan.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Folks, if you have questions, ask them. A lot of people are telling us Lacheserie, which that makes me happy. Shout out to Tony Kornheiser and to Michael Kornheiser, who I know is watching.
All I'll say is let's limit the TK salutes.
Yeah, no TK salutes on this. This is a family show, family program.
Okay, but I can't do them on.
I like this point, TKE wrestler, and it's not just because they have wrestler in their handle. I'm an independent, but I think both parties need to be fully present. So Chuck and I do a podcast every Monday and make the point you made on there about people being there and their responsibility. If you're in the opposite party, because I think that's a good one.
You've been elected to Congress, and this is an important moment. The head of the executive branch is coming over to the legislative branch to explain what they believe is both their agenda and what they think the state of the country is. I mean, look, you chose to be in Congress. You should be there for this moment. You don't have to. Please do something before, do something after. Yeah, but I don't.
Right, you can say your piece before or after.
Why would you want to be here? This is happening in real time. It's an important gathering of the leadership of America. You can not be happy about the leadership of America, but you're part of this. I agree. You were elected. You've got to be a representative of your community in that room. Yep. This is what it's all about. You chose to do this. So I understand what's driving the idea of the boycotts. I understand people's disagreements that they have with this president. But you want to stand up for the democracy, participate in it.
Just quickly, John Fetterman with a suit and tie,
man,
going away from the Carhartt. Jack Redview, Jack, thank you for supporting independent journalism. Jack says, odds that Trump, we were talking about this before, odds that Trump uses the speech to justify war with Iran, bombs dropping mid-speech in Iran. I don't know about that, Jack, but we were talking about Iran and like what role it will play in the speech.
Well, here's the thing, one thing about the president, I've joked, I like to gamble. I'm not a big poker player. But if I were to play poker, I would want to play with the president because he doesn't really hide anything. He's a visual. He sort of
got a lot of tells.
And I think one of the tells tonight, if he's already made this decision, he'll tell us tonight.
Yeah.
Even if he's not supposed to, he will say.
I will tell you.
I don't.
What's going on over there?
They told me not to say anything tonight. I mean, I'm like. This is like a 5% facetious. Like I'm
I think there's an actual chance
prepared
of that.
that something is afoot here. And but there's a part of me as an American that says, please just tell me what you're doing. Will you explain why there is more military personnel in the Middle East now than we've had since the start of the Iraq War? Or this doesn't feel like a pinprick. This doesn't feel like a negotiation. One night of missile strikes. So look. The good news is, hey, he's got a large audience. if you're not making your case tonight, when are you going to make the case to the country?
I agree. My friend Matt Davidson says, "Hey, Chuck and Chris, presidents traditionally get a polling bump after the State of the Union. Do you expect Trump to as well, or has there ever been a time where a State of the Union actually hurt a president?" I don't know about hurt. I do not expect him to get a bump because I don't think his numbers ever move.
Well, here's the other thing. The dirty little secret about these States of the Union is the people who don't like the president don't watch. So
right, so the snap poll afterward is always like it was pretty good.
It's always of speech watchers, always leans whoever the president's party is. So you have to be careful of those, which is why most people now don't pay for those types of polling anymore, because it really is misleading. It's funny you say traditionally get the speech bump. I actually think that's a total myth. I think presidents have never really gotten one. I think it has been because of these bad
the sample
bad samples,
the kind of person who watches
really
it
fully haven't fully appreciated, and we now know this, which is why you see less of it. Now, here's the thing: does Donald Trump's approval rating improve next week? That's when you'll know if there is a bump or not. But my goodness, there's going to be, we may start a war with them. There may be all these events that take place between now and the next time I would feel comfortable finding out what did the country's absorption of this speech do to their feelings towards the president.
And Matt, I should say thank you for supporting independent journalism. Everyone who's on here, thank you for supporting independent journalism. I said this at the top and I mean it. I think this is the future of covering live events, period.
I do too.
But also live events on politics. I mean, Chuck and I have talked about this, and we are trying to brainstorm around.
A week from tonight, we're going to be doing Texas primary.
March 3rd.
We'll be in our separate layers for that one, working with our pals at Decision Desk HQ.
Yep.
And our man, Jeff Skelly.
Love him. With us. He's got the best hair of the three of us, which is a low bar.
Because he has it.
Yeah, exactly.
Skelly, if you're here, and just know you just got the
hair award.
Hair award. Of our election night coverage. But look, I think this is what I'm looking forward to is this. By the way, you can go over to my YouTube channel and like and subscribe.
Please do.
While you do that.
Please do. And I said
but we're building audience.
Well, and I said this before. If you don't subscribe to the Chuck Toddcast as well, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get, I listen. It is something. It is in my rotation. I always say it's the rest is history. Chuck, Bill Simmons, Tony Kornheiser. That's mostly what I listen to. By the way, interesting conversation there. So that's Klobuchar, Lisa Murkowski, who is
John Curtis
of Minnesota.
So of Utah. Lisa Murkowski. She has said it, hinted at it once. I believe Democrats only need 3 seats.
Because you think she might switch parties if
she
it's 50-50.
So just keep that in mind, especially if one of the 3 pickups is Alaska.
Right, if Mary Peltola wins, because then she feels more protected to.
I was just going to say, I think I could just picture independent Senator Lisa Murkowski, who is not a member of I believe she's an independent who caucuses the Republicans.
That's right. I think the last time she was elected was as an independent.
I could easily picture her saying, well, it's clear that my state has a preference. So for these last 2 years, I'm going to side with them.
Let me just
the
get
most
to
interesting
a few
person in American.
By the way, I always say this to people: if you want to donate to the super chat, you can. It's the rectangle with the $sign. If you do, we'll make sure your question gets answered. Jonathan Weaver, thank you for supporting independent journalism. Jonathan says, odds the Big 10 states will have a GOP backlash. We were talking about the Senate in that regard.
Well, look, I think I look at Iowa in particular. When you want to look at the Big 10 states, I look at Iowa in particular as sort of the bellwether for whether there's going to be a wave.
Yeah.
It takes away. I think Iowa is a light red state. It's not a dark red state, but it is a light red state. They got Rob Sand is in statewide elected office right now.
Yeah, state auditor.
Right. But he held on. Yep. So this is not a state. They've continuously elected Democrats statewide every 4 years for the last 50.
Mm-hmm.
I think only recently did the AG stop. That guy was.
That's right. He was there forever. Tom Miller was the Richard Blumenthal of Iowa.
He just would win every cycle. It wouldn't matter which party had the governorship. I think Iowa feels like that. If Democrats, it's sort of one of those. If they have a big night, then they win at least 2 House seats in Iowa, maybe 3, because there's 3 of those 4 are super competitive. Yep. But if they're having a big night, they win 2. They win the governor's race, and the Senate race is too close to.
Yep. I see a couple questions I want to knock out real quick. Several people have asked who's giving the Democratic response. It's Virginia Democratic Governor Abigail Spanberger, who was elected last year. And yes, we will carry that. C-SPAN will carry it.
And we'll be
YouTube will
doing
carry it. We will talk about it and stay on it.
All right. Well,
okay, so Mike Johnson.
Appoints as members of the committee on the part of the House to escort the President of the United States into the chamber. The gentleman from Louisiana, Mr. Scalise. The gentleman from Minnesota, Mr. Emmer. The gentleman from Michigan, Mrs. McClain.
Stunned at how on time this is all running.
I know, 10 minutes.
I don't want to count my chickens.
The gentleman from Utah, Mr. Moore.
I know.
The gentleman from Indiana, Mrs.
1
Howard. The gentleman from Oklahoma, Mr. Hearn. The gentleman from New York, Mr.
So they're just naming the people who are on this committee that we. So Abigail Spanberger, Democratic response, designated survivor, which interesting show.
Who was it?
I have not seen it yet. You
don't find out usually.
Usually find out right before, and that's the cabinet member who is not there in the event of a catastrophe, and that person becomes president. Which the best one of those in fiction is in Battlestar Galactica, where the Secretary of Education becomes the president.
It should always be the DHS secretary.
The senator from Arkansas.
Your job is Homeland Security. Your title is Homeland Security. You should be the designated survivor. It has, by the way, Jay Johnson, I think, got stuck with that sucker like 3 times. Back during the Obama
continuity.
But I actually really believe that if you're really going to do this, that it should be the DHS secretary.
The members of the
and folks, I see people who are saying pump up the volume. Yes, that is being controlled by the geniuses on YouTube. We do not do that, but yes, don't worry.
And we'll say it out loud.
They will adjust that. Let's see. Jason McMahon says, "Thank you guys for doing this. This is the new way. This is the way. We believe that it is.
This is the way." Where's Grogu?
I know.
Right,
Sam, hey, Chris and Chuck, do you think reports of Trump? Hold on, let me hear.
Acting dean of the diplomatic corps.
Not to disrespect the diplomatic corps, but we're going to keep taking questions. Hey, Chris and Chuck, do you think reports of Trump going super long tonight are meant to juice prediction markets?
Oh, wow.
Will this be a major scandal one day? So Chuck and I were talking about this outside his house yesterday when we were doing a rehearsal. You want to start?
No, I mean, look, I think so. I actually have. I had the editor-in-chief of Reason Magazine on my podcast. She'll be on. I'll be dropping it in another. When we had a long debate about the prediction markets, and her argument is that, look, if a prediction market's big enough, it washes out the insider traders, and that you will over time actually, where the insider trading benefits you, doesn't hurt you.
The scale,
right?
The
but
scale
right
washes
now,
it out.
The problem is we all know the early adopters are scamming us.
Totally.
I mean,
they're the people. They're the DJ gamblers.
Peter Navarro hadn't done a punditry television on behalf of the White House in months. He shows up on Fox Business and does this prediction. The jobs report. Look, it might be a tough first jobs report. Literally the next day, it's the exact opposite of that. You're like, wait, your head immediately
you could short
goes
that
this,
like crazy,
and you're like, is Peter Navarro capable of thinking about the prediction markets? I just don't know. I'm not saying.
I know it's a good question.
I don't look. I sort of respect how the state of Virginia decides what is sort of a fair bet and what is potentially an unfair trade or bet. And if somebody knows the answer, the state of Virginia won't allow it. So you can't bet in the sports gambling world in Virginia. You can't bet on awards. You can't bet on the MVP
because someone
like
possesses that knowledge.
But the game itself, you can bet on.
Right. Because in theory, it's wide open.
And
although in the NBA, we've seen some.
So, like for instance, if you have a FanDuel account and you live in Virginia, you don't get to bet on the awards. You cross the river and go into DC,
or a VPN.
So suddenly, you can then bet on the awards. So I do think these prediction markets. The question is, does it ever become a scandal?
I don't know.
And
I mean, we are running.
Do I think it should be? That's one thing.
Chuck did a really good conversation with this guy who wrote the book. Is called Everybody Loses.
Danny Punt.
Danny Punt. Go check that out about how we have just sprinted.
Mr. Speaker,
ahead.
the Chief Justice and Associate.
Okay, so this is Supreme
Court.
Let's
see how many.
Okay. The Chief Justice, so John Roberts would be.
I'm going to say 6 total.
Yeah, these people are not justices. They usually wear their.
They wear the robe.
They wear the robe.
Or they can move down.
John Roberts, sneaky short.
Kagan.
That's Kavanaugh.
Three.
Amy Coney Barrett.
Four.
So
Four.
4. Interesting. So no Gorsuch, no Thomas, no Alito.
4.
Interesting that Amy Coney Barrett is there because remember, Donald Trump appointed 3 justices in his first term, right? Kavanaugh, Coney Barrett, and Gorsuch. Gorsuch and Barrett voted against him on the tariff ruling on Friday, and he specifically singled them out and said, not only should they be ashamed, but their families should be ashamed of them. So look, when you're a Supreme Court justice, you get sat right in that front row. So Amy Coney Barrett will be right there if Donald Trump wants to say something. Yeah, go ahead.
If you're wondering 4, I just wanted to double check. So there were 2 instances where 0 Supreme Court justices showed up. One was 2000, where they thought it'd be
because of after Bush v. Gore. Oh, during the presidential.
It was Bill Clinton's final
term.
They claimed travel changes and minor illnesses. None showed up for 1 in 86. 2021, only 1 showed up, the Chief Justice, because of COVID. So that was a COVID one.
Makes sense.
But we've been at 5 or 4.
Okay. The one that's interesting there is
Thomas
Coney
never
Barrett
comes.
and Roberts.
Thomas
Thomas
never
does not come. Right. And he's also the oldest. All right, let me run through a quick. Let me run through a quick. Mr. Demon, thank you for supporting independent journalism. Imagine if the Dems flipped the House in 20 Senate seats to have 67 and have the power to impeach Trump, Vance, Clarence Thomas, and Alito. 20 Senate seats. There's only 33 Senate seats up. That's not going to happen. 20
but if
Senate
it did,
seats.
then it would give you the mandate for what you're
Oh
asking.
my gosh! Yes,
So
you
it
would. Yes.
So you would have President Mike Johnson.
Yep. There he is.
Okay.
There he
No,
is.
the new speaker. I guess President Hakeem Jeffries.
President Hakeem Jeffries. That would be interesting. God,
President
the
Hakeem
political nerd.
Well,
Let's see. Matt Davidson, thank you again for supporting independent journalism. This is for you, Chuck. Chuck, you're a county by county guy. I'm seeing early signs Greene County could shift blue eventually. Do you see Missouri in the next set of states Dems try to win back? What's your read on the ground?
I
feel like it's too far gone.
I think Missouri. I'm a Kansas, and I think about Missouri and Kansas. I feel like the two. Right when I first got into politics, Missouri was swinging.
Totally,
and
the Carnahan family, and I mean,
essentially the swing areas of St. Louis have shrunk, even as the swing areas in Kansas City have grown, although they've grown into Kansas. That's what makes suburban,
Yes, so it's why Sharice Davids is in Congress.
Correct. That's the suburban Kansas City in Kansas has really created an interesting base now. It's like almost like a Northern Virginia, the way it's how democratic it is over there. I think Kansas is where Democrats ought to be investing money. If you look at the demographics of it, it's a growing state. It has two fairly large universities. It is, St. Louis is a shrinking city. St. Louis is Detroit without the investment money. And I think it could really use it. I just ran into the former mayor of St. Louis doing an event up at...
Was it Francis Slay?
No, another former mayor. I mean, that's the thing. Look, and we were talking about this, and I said, what there just isn't alignment in Missouri to grow St. Louis. And until St. Louis can be a growth area, I don't see how the state ever becomes competitive.
There's Melania Trump, First Lady. They were just showing. There's Barron. I mean, he is just massively tall. And Ivanka.
I have to say, I enjoy watching
Melania?
the presidential kids.
Did you
from
see
kids
Melania?
to adults.
Oh, you do like that?
I mean, it just shows you all it does is age us.
Did you watch Melania, the documentary? I have not watched it. Are you going to? I don't think I'm going to. It's not. Not unless it's on.
I mean,
Barrett always looks unhappy.
What is fascinating?
I want him to smile a little
one
more.
quick aside on that.
Mr. Speaker, the President's Cabinet.
Which I think is interesting.
Yeah.
She's trying to create a brand without the name Trump on it.
All right, now here's the cabinet. So, in theory, if Chuck and I are really good, we can figure out who the designated survivor is.
Well, look what they're doing.
It's not Rubio or Besant.
They're going in order of their creation. You've got state, treasury, and war.
Gosh, war. Thank you for calling it the right thing, Chuck.
It's not the right thing.
Who's that? I'm not familiar with that. Extremely tan older gentleman.
I don't know. He looks like he could be a Kennedy. I don't know. Does he look like a Kennedy?
Okay, quick Rubio question. His son was on the Miami football team.
No. University of Florida.
University of Florida.
Yeah.
Well, that bodes poorly for him, right?
He made the mistake of going to the University of Florida undergrad.
Oh.
And the secretary knows him. Went to law school at the University.
The only Florida
So he
person...
claims he's one of these weirdos in Florida, and I think I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, go off, King.
You can't root both for the Gators and the Hurricanes.
Yeah, it's like I root for the Red Sox and the Yankees.
It's really like Gators, right? You can't root for Gators and Seminoles. You can root for Seminoles and Canes. Like there's just Florida is the evil empire.
Yeah,
in the state of Florida. Yep. And by the way, if you're a Gator, you think the other two are a bunch of little brothers.
You know, the Gator that I like.
You know,
my favorite Gator, he's not watching tonight, but Guy Cecil, former Democratic Senate campaign committee. I love
this. Is the stuff he claims.
I love. Shout out to Guy Cecil. He's a good Gator. I don't want to badmouth everybody who went to Florida.
Yeah, he and Pam Bondi.
I kind of like Joe Noah. He seemed like a good dude. Are they interesting? All right, so this is the cabinet. They're processing, and they showed C-SPAN, to their great credit, showed Susie Wiles, the chief of staff. She's there. Somewhere is that Linda McMahon behind Sean Duffy?
Christy Noem, not the
Christy Noem, not the designated, not your DHS.
Survivor. Yeah, there's
although Christy Noem would probably be thrilled to be the designated survivor.
Wants to be there tonight.
You're the president if everything goes wrong.
Saw some interesting poll numbers in South Dakota indicating that Noem would be really relevant.
Really?
So it is an interesting exit ramp that's been rumored about
for governor.
To primary Mike Brown.
Yeah. I could see that. That's an out for her.
It's an out.
So
Trump would support. And
that's Howard Lutnick, Commerce Secretary there.
Interesting that if there was anybody in the Trump government that you would think would get hit with some Epstein accountability,
I know,
it would be him. And
he went through it about 2 weeks ago. It was like he said that he had broken up contact with Epstein. Then it was like, well, he and his family went to get lunch on the island. He said he was just passing through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on. Let's move this.
Okay. Move it up a little bit.
That's Chip Roy of reading RFK Jr. And by the way, and this is a story that gets written every. Oh boy.
Another selfie.
He didn't even really smile.
The Congress, when you're a member of Congress,
I feel like that's too needy. I don't like
needy.
that. I think it's like
you've already run for office. You're already pretty.
So Christy Noem, for people who don't know,
Susie Wiles.
Yeah, Susie Wiles. Yeah, Christy Noem, for people who don't know, did serve in the House before she was governor, before she was DHS secretary. So she's been there.
Christy Noem replaced John Thune.
That's right. There's future President Donald Trump Jr. Him with the beard, and that's Tiffany Trump as well there. So there's Tulsi Gabbard. So I'm trying to figure out who.
Chris Miller,
I don't know.
The energy sec.
Alex Snellenberger. Let's sneak this in.
It's Kiefer Sutherland, right? Is the designated
Kiefer Sutherland.
Thank you very much. It's
Wisconsin native here. Chuck, go Pack. I mean, this is just all about your sports.
Well,
it's unbelievable.
I do have a pretty decent amount of paraphernalia.
Any thoughts on the upcoming Wisconsin gubernatorial election? My gosh, what an important one. Wisconsin and Michigan are like
it is.
Critical.
Somebody just dropped out. I think.
It's not the lieutenant. I think it might be the lieutenant.
No, but Mandela Barnes is
former
in
lieutenant
on the
governor
Democratic side. And there's been already some backup. There was somebody just dropped out. I have been a little slow.
It is a critically important race. I will say that Wisconsin,
off the ground.
That it hasn't really started all that well yet. So Eric Trump not there. Just as we're looking at the Trumps, Chuck's looking up Wisconsin stuff. Mm-hmm. As we're looking up the Trump family, Eric Trump not there. I think everybody else is, because Tiffany is there.
That's what it was. Is that Trump endorsed Tom Tiffany?
The member of Congress,
drove somebody out.
Okay,
yeah,
and
going to get in. And
somebody suggested this, and this may be right. I have not seen Doug Burgum. Is Doug Burgum
he was the designated survivor last year?
Maybe he's like, hey guys, I've done this before. Interior Secretary.
Well, we're the interior.
That's right, Alec. Evers could have run again, the governor, but decided not to run for another term. He did the Tim Walz. They don't have term limits. You could have kept running, but he didn't. I like A to the F Wiz says
last year it was Doug Collins was the designated.
Oh, Doug Collins, Veterans Affairs. Veterans, yeah. Let's see. Is it Sean Duffy? No, I saw Sean Duffy. I think
saw Duffy
Burgum.
too.
I think Burgum is who it is.
Burgum,
I don't see. Oh no, Somebody said Burgum is there, but I didn't see him walk through. Yes, Clay, we know Chuck is getting closer to the microphone.
Yeah.
I'm super loud. Chuck is more understated. So we are
Sorry about that.
No, he will
Chris
amp
is
it up.
much more obnoxious than I am.
It's so true. Oh wait, I like this comment. Hold on. This
This
is
is
the
a
best
good one. Mike
Wait.
Thompson is the official Democratic congressional designated survivor.
Mike Thompson, who's a vintner. He owns wineries.
Well, he's up in Northern California.
He's in Northern California.
Kind of goes with it.
I like this comment about my obnoxiousness. R Firm International. Cillizza's nihilism, sarcasm. Wait, hold on. Just doesn't hit the way he thinks it does. Oh, I don't think it hits. I just don't have any other way to be. I'm aware it's off-putting. Just to be clear. I mean, yeah,
You know,
I only
it's
got
like the
I'm 50
movie
years
Singles.
old. I got one
Your
sentence.
thing, your thing, you're off-putting. You're like, yes, you finally get me. It's just like in Singles, there's this scene where, like, I think your thing is claiming you don't have a thing.
Yeah,
Right.
totally.
That would have been
That's
you.
that's me. No, I'm aware I'm off-putting. I just
Yeah.
can't help myself. Let's see. So they're saying they do not see Doug Collins.
How do you be 2 years in a
Or
row?
what about Brooke Rollins, the ag
Ooh,
sack?
Brooke Rollins. I haven't
That's
seen her
that
either.
she would stand
Ooh, here
out.
we go.
Okay, here we go.
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
Yep.
906.
Here we go.
Boy, what was the count? Like, almost like somebody had money on it.
Now, I wonder if you could bet on how long it takes him from that. It's like how long is the State of the Union? It's how long is the national anthem at the Super Bowl? How long from the intro to here when he takes the stage and starts speaking? All right. Trump, notoriously a germaphobe, not big fan of shaking hands. He is doing it, but he does not like it.
That Tim Burchett. Not wearing his cargo, but yeah, that's Tim Burchett.
Yeah.
I tell you, he is the guy that loves being everybody's friend. He is pals with everybody.
He is. Everybody likes him.
Everybody
Democrats too, like
loves
AOC.
him. Yes.
Yes.
It is he's that friendly neighbor. You may disagree with that neighbor, but he's the friendly neighbor
Totally.
that is also going to bring your garbage can.
I always
I just think Tim Burchett is just
you-
sort of an interesting guy.
Totally. I always ask the other side when I interview members of Congress,
Yeah,
who
he's the
do you like,
nicest.
who are your friends from the
Yeah.
outside? And Democrats always say Burchett.
Yeah,
It's
he's-
fascinating because he's so
He's
conservative.
just a friendly guy.
Yeah.
He likes being everybody's pal.
Let's see. All right, so there's Thune. That's John Thune, the majority leader. Steve Scalise, Senate majority leader. Steve Scalise.
In
right?
fairness, we all are trying to eavesdrop, and the beauty of the C-SPAN
Oh, yeah.
boom mic is you do get some stuff.
Oh, gosh. Who was that with the Trump was right about everything hat? That feels like a little.
Isn't that the guy that's in Nats games all the time?
the two brothers? who
Yes.
sit- That's going to be us one day. We're
Which
the
is
Statler and
Statler and
Waldorf.
Waldorf
Yeah.
of
Why
the
do
Nats
we
game.
always come? I remember when I first started in Washington, Amy Walter, who now owns the Cook Political Report,
Yeah.
but back then worked for the Cook Political Report.
Here's my man,
C-SPAN
Chip
hired her
Yeah.
as a spotter.
Oh, the spotter, yeah.
To be like, that's fill in the blank
No, I've
member.
had to do
That's
that.
fill in the
Yeah,
blank
yeah,
member
yeah,
because
yeah.
it's so hard to know.
Oh, and
This
I'll
is
be
the
honest.
same guy. He loves the selfie.
I haven't done the house in a long
Very
time.
thirsty.
I haven't done the house in a long time.
Oh,
my
my-
Facebook brain, not Facebook.
Yeah, no, I'm not
I mean,
great
like
on
being
it
able to. The original Facebooks were what networks would create to identify members of Congress.
I hope I age like John Thune. He's like in his. I'm not gonna age like him, but he's like in his 60s. He looks great. That South Dakota clean living.
It's all those Nordic. No, it's all the Nordic roots in South Dakota.
Let's see if
Minnesota.
Trump shakes Amy Coney Barrett's hand here. Okay,
Yeah.
he did. Your family should be embarrassed with you.
Boy, Elena Kagan had a big smile on her face there. Not
Yeah,
at all.
she's thrilled.
Last time I saw Elena Kagan, she was sitting in front of me at a Nats game. Like, my old seats were in front of for whatever reason, they were one row behind the seats the Nats would give away to like just VIPs.
Well,
and I
you're a
didn't. I
VIP.
wasn't in Cillizza seats either.
You're a VIP in
And-
my book.
And all during, she'd only come for that. You don't see her there very often.
Ty John Mike says, if you had to guess what percentage of the speech would be off script, I would say like
Oh, I think
10-ish
only
percent or
10
less.
to 15. It's less than you
This
think.
is the speech that he will stick most to the teleprompter of
And
any
you'll-
speech he
right.
gives. Yeah.
You do sort of see
He's
it.
79 years old,
Yeah,
Chuck.
the last year or two, it's come through more. You
Yep.
can just sort of see it. And the thing is that Father Time's undefeated.
Nope. I mean, look
You
at
know-
our hairlines.
Yeah, trust me.
I mean,
My wife took a picture of my dog laying with me the other night.
brutal. You never want to see pictures of yourself.
like, oh my
I know
God.
people think that we look at pictures of ourselves all the time. I'm like,
Who's the
holy
gray-haired
cow,
guy?
who's that
sitting
old
with
man?
My beautiful dog.
Totally agree. Reveling.
It's an interesting hot take there. I grabbed that one. I still say Susie was the most capable person to hold her positions. Look, I think the world of Susie Wiles' capabilities. I think the question is the single most impossible job to have is Trump Chief of Staff.
Maybe in the world.
It is
Not just in the Trump White
She
House.
has all the skill set in the world to do it, a la Baker. I totally agree with you. I just don't know if anybody can be successful.
Luke Morrison pointed out that Fetterman got a handshake. That makes sense. Yeah.
There's a lot of water from. Look at Trump just soaking it in.
Oh, he'll let this go on for.
He loves it.
You can bet, I would assume,
So,
on Polymarket and
I
Fauci how many standing ovations. he
I
gets,
can't.
too.
I don't. It doesn't look like there's a hole in the Democratic.
Not that I can. Not a noticeable one. I think that's Hank Johnson.
I have to say, I'm
directly behind
having to
it.
talk myself into talking. I'm used to always thinking, okay, you have to stop.
Members of
talking.
All right.
Congress that have the high
Yeah, so
privilege and distinct
we'll try not
honor
to
of
talk too
presenting
much
to
over
you
him. Here we,
the
but we
President
will.
of the
Let's
United
be
Well,
honest.
no, the whole point of this. Is
Yeah,
to do
we're
it.
going to.
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't feel guilty because you have alternatives.
Yeah, exactly. Go watch it on the regular C-SPAN or C-SPAN 2.
You just gotta let
but
us
actually,
know.
don't,
problem
because
is-
we want you to watch
The problem
it.
is we're gonna say something, then we're gonna miss. Wait a minute, did you catch him
He said-
declaring
he said
war
we're
on
declaring war on
Ecuador?
Iran.
You missed the
Ecuador.
declaration of Ecuador war?
All right, here we go. So it is 9:11
Tito.
p.m. on my.
hardly
Well,
knew
thank
of
you very much,
watch.
everybody. It's really an honor. Speaker Johnson, Vice President Vance, First Lady of the United States.
Celebrity Melania
Suddenly,
Trump.
people have to realize, oh, that's right, we're supposed to stay.
Right.
And it's like
Pantsuit, I like it.
By the way, this is not picking on Trump. This is
no.
everybody's done this applause, and then you realize, oh, I gotta applaud the first lady too. That's right, and we gotta give her a standing
She's gonna
ovation,
stand up.
because that will be really awkward if we don't.
Second Lady of the United States.
Vance has to stand.
Usha Vance is, I mean, this is talking about
pregnant.
deep cut trivia. Is who is the last first or second lady to be pregnant?
Oh,
in
it's
office?
19th
I mean,
century. It's
I was
like,
gonna say it has to be.
It's 19th century.
Right.
I was looking at.
Members of Congress and my fellow Americans, our nation is back, bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever before.
I do love this, and I'm not going to comment on it every time, but on the right side of your screen is
right.
where the Democrats are, and they're not going to cheer to "Our nation is back, richer, better than ever before." And the left side, obviously, is the Republicans who are
Less
standing
than 5
ovation.
months from now, our country will celebrate an epic milestone in American history, the 250th anniversary of our glorious American independence. This July 4th, we will mark 2.5 centuries of liberty and triumph, progress and freedom in the most incredible and exceptional nation ever to exist on the face of the earth. And you've seen nothing yet. We're going to do better and better and better. This is the golden age of America.
Okay, I know what he means, but
I-
that line had to be written.
Oh,
You
he read it.
haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah. But
Not.
by the way, golden age always feels like the name of a retirement.
Yeah.
I do not
Oh
think
yeah.
that's goodness.
Yeah. I love their happy hour. The golden
When
age
I
home.
last spoke in this chamber 12 months ago, I had just inherited a nation in crisis with a stagnant economy,
the old straw man
inflation at record levels, a wide open border, horrendous recruitment for military and police, rampant crime at home, and wars and chaos all over the world. But tonight, after just 1 year, I can say with dignity and pride that we have achieved a transformation like no one has ever seen before, and a turnaround for the ages. It is indeed a turnaround for the ages.
So if you speak it,
Why did he?
people will. If you speak it, it comes true.
Why did he?
What
say,
if you say it 3 or 4 times?
Why
Is
did
it like
he
a
say with
dignity
dignity
and pride?
What the hell does that mean? Oh, thank
Is it-
God! I thought he was going to say.
Sometimes there is a.
Oh, this is just
Al
why do
Green.
you
Yeah.
Al Green. So people don't know. Al Green is the one who shook his cane at Trump. He's got a sign. Oh, sign grabbing.
And we will never go back to where we were just a very short time ago. We're not going back. Today, our border is secure.
Well, that's Al Green. Who's the other one? I can't see it. To me, it's dumb to come and leave. I mean, I get why they're doing it, but
Today, our
it's just,
border is
this is
secure.
the world we live in.
Our
Everybody's
spirit
gotta,
is restored.
you know, and here's two guys
Inflation is plummeting.
we're talking
over
I
the
know.
State of the
Are
Union, but
rising
I just find it
fast.
to be
The roaring
politics.
economy is roaring like never before, and our enemies are scared. Our military and police are stacked, and America is respected again, perhaps like never before.
He's already. So he
Man.
started at
How many like
9/11.
never-
He's already said 3 times
like,
like
never before. Like never before.
Also, the roaring economy is
Wow.
roaring.
I
needed
have to
another
tell you,
verb there.
you know, he's trying to will this.
Yeah.
Joe
After
Biden
4
tried
years
this. Good luck, buddy.
in which millions and millions of illegal aliens poured across our borders, totally unvetted and unchecked, we now have the strongest and most secure border in American history by far.
Well, this is the case where lead with the one accomplishment everybody agrees.
I was going to say, this is his best thing.
Right.
Oh, there's
So-
Bergam, by the way.
Right.
Sorry.
The
In the
single
past
thing
9
that
months,
a majority of the
zero
population
Agree with.
illegal
is the
aliens
only
have
issue.
been admitted to the
People
United
without.
States.
So far, this is basically, I would say, this is basically a campaign. This is the speech he gives on the campaign trail.
To pay my numbers.
It,
Kind of a
we'll see if he does something different, but
But we will always allow people to come in legally, people that will love our country and will work hard to maintain our country.
And to be clear, for folks who don't know, when he's looking to the right and the left, he has a teleprompter on his right, he has a teleprompter on his left, and there's a teleprompter sort of like camera straight.
The flow
too.
of deadly fentanyl across our border is down by a record 56% in 1 year. And last year, the murder rate saw its single largest decline in recorded history. This is the biggest decline, think of it, in recorded history, the lowest number in over 125 years, year 1900. In fact, substantially before my wonderful father, I had a wonderful father, Fred, before he was born, substantially before he was born. That's a long time ago. He wouldn't like me to say that, but that's a long time ago. The Biden administration and its allies in Congress gave us the worst inflation in the history of our country.
It's like
Just to
not
be
even
clear, that
close
is
to
false.
being
That
close.
is 100%
Not even
Is
close.
It's not even close.
core inflation down to the lowest level in
I've
more than 5
fact-checked
years.
that 1,000
And in
times.
the
Type
last
it into
3
Google,
months of 2025,
inflation over time.
it was down to 1.7%.
So
And he says it
the Revolutionary
all the
War
time.
is the worst inflation we ever had.
Okay.
It was
I mean, it
nearly
had to be
30%
World
in
War-
1778.
Yeah, World Wars.
World War I, our inflation rate was 17%.
Gasoline, which reached a peak of over $6 a gallon. in
Pandemic
some
is
states,
actually the 5th
under my
worst if you were
predecessor,
going to major
it was
inflation
quite
peak.
honestly a disaster.
70s and
It's now
80s
below
were the worst,
$2.30
of
a
the modern
gallon
era.
in
So
most
dumb.
states.
I don't know why
And
he
in
lies
some
about
places,
So
stuff that you
reason
can
to lie.
fact check
$1.99
so easily.
a gallon. And
Just
when
say,
I
"I've brought
visited
inflation
the
down."
great state of Iowa just a few weeks ago, I even saw $1.85 a gallon for gas.
Okay, so
We saw
again, he says this in every speech he gives, and I fact check it. According to AAA, gas is not, on average, under $2 in any state in the country. Now, does that not mean he
Mortgage
didn't see
rates
one
are the
sign
lowest
for
in 4 years and
$199.9?
falling
No.
fast.
Well, if you're a
And the
member
annual
of
cost of a
BJ's or
typical new
Costco,
mortgage
Yeah,
is
you
down
get
to
the
almost
sometimes get
$40,000
extra discount.
Just
So,
since I took
plenty
office.
of ways to
1 year.
mislead people and claim you're not lying.
And low interest rates will solve the Biden-created housing problem well, at the same time protecting the values of those people who already own a house that really feel rich for the first time in their lives. We want to protect those values. We want to keep those values up. We're going to do both.
Again, this is very much kind of boilerplate.
And we are going to
campaign
keep it that
speech.
way.
Actually, his plan to
stock
try to keep
market
people in
has
their
set
housing is terrible to solve the
53
housing crisis. But
all-time
okay.
record highs
I mean,
since
it's
the
not
election. Think of
actually the
that.
way to
1
do this.
year,
it's baby boomers
boosting
not selling their houses
pensions,
that are a
401ks,
problem.
That's right.
and retirement accounts for the millions and millions of Americans. They're all gaining. Everybody's up, way up. In 4 long years, the last administration got less than $1 trillion in new investment in the United States. And when I say less,
Here's the uncomfortable fact on that.
substantially
Donald
less.
Trump's the only president
In
we've had
12
in the
months,
modern
I
era
secured
who, in his
commitments for
term,
more
the
than
stock market lost value.
$18 trillion pouring in from all over the globe.
Again, I hate to be a broken record
none of
here,
this
but that
money's
is
here yet.
not
And none of the money is
not true that $18 trillion
Well,
has been invested
and it's
in the US.
pledged money like over a 40-year period.
Think of it, much less than $1 trillion for 4 years versus much more than $18 trillion for 1 year. What a difference a president makes. A short time ago, we were a dead country. Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world.
Many
The
people are
hottest.
saying it. I was with the Prime Minister of fill-in-the-blank country, and he
Yeah.
said, you know what, this is
his
the
chief
hottest country in the
speechwriter-
world.
His chief speechwriter is one
Yeah,
of
that
these.
happened? I feel like that might not have happened. But again, all of this is from his...
As thousands of new businesses are
Well, you
forming in factories,
do
plants,
this
and laboratories are
relentless
being built.
Oh,
We've
line
added
thing.
It gets me
70,000 new
comfortable with
construction
everything
jobs
he
in
said.
just a
Like,
very
like,
short
it is.
period
You
of
must
time.
know his-
Yes,
Getting
and this is
bigger
all
and bigger
from
and
it.
stronger. Nobody can
Yeah,
believe what
Chris
they're
isn't just
watching.
saying this.
American
He
oil
does
production
something
is
that
up
I
by more than
would not wish on
600,000
anybody. Is he
barrels a
listens to
day,
every
and we
single
just
major
received
Trump speech.
Yeah.
from our new friend
And
and partner,
interviews.
Venezuela, more than 80 million barrels of oil.
Wait a
It's the
minute.
Venezuela
So what
victory
he's
lap.
not talking about in Venezuela is democracy. But he's like, so we went to Venezuela just for the oil, and this is just we're not even pretending
American
it's not
natural
about oil.
gas production is at an all-time high because I kept my promise to
Venezuelans in
drill,
South Florida
baby,
are going to be mad if
drill.
they don't push for democracy.
Right,
like
if you
this
just let,
year.
let Maduro's
This
vice
is
president be the
Not
president.
what
Right.
people want to hear. According to Jake Sherman, Al Green had
More
got
Americans are
escorted out of the
working
chamber, had
today
words
than
with
at
Troy
any
Neal.
time
Troy Neal,
in the history
who brought
of
Ken
our
Paxton
country. Think about
to
that.
the...
Any time in the history of our country, more working today, and 100% of all jobs created under my administration have been in the private sector.
Okay, so he's now going to do this riff on how, if he wanted to, he could have created all these jobs in the federal government like Biden did. If this continues to be the speech that he gives most of the time.
We ended DEI
Nice,
in
good Matt.
America.
They can't do this. But
So
I would
weird to
like to
celebrate.
ban the standing ovation. This takes so long.
We cut a record number of job-killing regulations, and in 1 year, we have lifted 2.4 million Americans, a record, off of food stamps. And for all of these reasons, I say tonight, members of Congress, the state of our union is strong.
Figured he'd go with strong.
What was that on the South Street?
I mean, that had to be like a 1 to 2.
Yeah,
you know,
strong
I mean,
would have been.
that's what I don't remember what he said last year, but I think it was something like that.
We've heard resilient. That's always
Yeah,
one when
yeah.
things aren't going well.
Our country is winning again. In fact, we're winning so
So
much.
he's going with the
that
gaslight
we really
approach.
Don't know.
Pay no
what
attention to
do
my
about
bad
it.
approval ratings. Things
People
are great.
asking
I'm
me,
not
please,
hearing what
please,
you're saying.
Please, Mr. President, we're winning too much. We can't take it anymore. We're not used to winning in our country. Until you came along with
Just to be clear, his approval rating, and these are just facts.
Yeah.
His approval rating is in the low 40s.
You're going to win again. You're going to win big. You're going to win bigger than ever. And to prove that point, here with us tonight is a group of winners who just made the entire nation proud. The men's gold medal Olympic hockey team. Come on in.
It is
Wait
fascinating.
a minute. We're only honoring the men's Olympic
Yes,
hockey team?
because the women
Said no.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't really invited.
I mean,
This has been a disaster, and it's all, I do. This has been just a PR nightmare for USA Hockey.
It
really is. The mistreatment of the women. In
I
this
will
has been
just,
terrible.
and I will just add to this, like the conflation here of we're winning and they're winning. It's like no one has weaponized patriotism more than Donald Trump, effectively. I mean,
Well, that's
presidents have done it forever. I mean, it's not far from the only one.
Yeah, I think he's, wrapping yourself in the flag is
it's time tested.
Yeah, it comes with the job description.
Now, Chuck, we both follow sports very closely. Can you name any of the guys in the?
They're professional hockey players.
I know the goalie's name is Connor Hellebuck. If you asked me to pick him out of a lineup, no chance.
He's wearing a mask.
And that's not the reason.
He plays. I know.
A lot of mustaches on those guys.
Go ahead.
And then there's the guy who got his tooth knocked out.
Now, if the president had any grace, he would say something about the women's game.
He won't. I'd be stunned if you mean something complimentary.
Correct.
He won't.
This would be the moment to do it.
Yeah.
Because it's he's not helped himself. With this,
This is like American hockey's finest moment.
That's the first time I've ever seen them get up. And actually, not all of them did get up.
He's talking about the Democrats, just for the record.
They beat a fantastic Canadian team in overtime, as everybody saw, as did the American women, who will soon be coming to the White House.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. That's was for
grace.
Donald Trump. That is significant praise. Like
that's about as much.
I'm stunned he did that.
That's as much grace on something like this when he's taken a hit that he will give. And he's taken a hit on this.
Yeah, there they are. That's the members of the USA hockey team. We know those guys.
I watched the whole thing, brother.
I watched it. I just don't know who they are. I know Keith Kachuk's sons. Keith Kachuk was on St. Louis Blues. I had his hockey cards. His sons, Matthew and something, are on the team.
I have to say that, and I told them this, and we took a vote of the team. I said, anybody votes no, I'm not doing it. So they stood there, and they weren't about to say no, because I've never seen a goaltender play as well as goalie Connor Hellebuck.
Trump and I both know Connor Hellebuck.
Right.
I
have to say, this is
there
smart.
he is. Like I was saying, there's Connor Hellebuck.
This is smart politics.
Yes.
This is the type, wrap yourself in something that everybody has to applaud for. When you're polarizing figure, this is smart staging.
I agree. And they all got their gold medals, and they all got their USA sweaters.
And by the way, in Olympic years, this is, it doesn't, sometimes the State of the Union isn't quite in sync there. But the summer games almost always line up with political conventions, and you always see some summer Olympians show up.
The one shot, the one where you put your stick in the back and it hit the neck of your stick and bounced off. You practiced that, or was that a little lucky? He refused to answer that question.
It's fascinating to me how much of
a
performer he is.
Canada
should have won.
They were just like it felt like they had 20 guys shooting pucks at him, and I mean, he is the hero.
That I will soon be presenting Connor with our highest civilian honor, which we will be given, and which has been given to many athletes over the years. But when I say many, not too many, like 12. It's called the highest civilian honor in our country, the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
It's called the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
My God, we are accelerating this stuff.
I know.
The idea of Presidential Medal,
those out.
He does. And, before Trump, the idea was it was a career capper. It was sort of like...
Or posthumous a little
bit in the fall or winter of your professional life.
Yep.
Stan Musial got one by Barack Obama, but right before he died.
Right before he passed.
In fact, I got a signed baseball
great athletes
from
have
Stan
gotten
Musial's
that
trip to the
very
White House
great, the
during
best.
Obama.
And I thought
Trump is in a, my goodness, the guy's not even finished his
30.
professional career.
I'm
He's
not
getting
giving
Presidential
it if
Medal of
anybody
Freedom.
goes no, and every single one of them rapidly put up their hand. So I want to thank you. What a special job you did. What special champions you are. Thank you very much.
I guess Kash Patel's not in trouble. Huh?
Nope. Is Kash Patel on the team, or was he not on the team? I saw him in the locker room. I wasn't. This is smart, though, folks, because this will get a lot of
American beer.
This will. What did he chug?
Yeah, was it an American beer, or was it
Amstel
like
Light?
Some, one of those European
Probably a
beers.
Budweiser.
I'm also
This
pleased
will
to
get
say that
coverage
the
and
next time
attention.
the Olympic torch is lit,
You can hate
And
And
Trump,
they did
but
a
it's
photo
smart
op and
stage
everything.
craft.
I mean,
Yeah.
Well,
this is very smart.
28
Very smart
Olympics, and
stage
it's the summer version.
My friend
right
Steve
in Los
Abinowitz, who did it
Angeles.
for
We're going to do a
Clinton,
good job
would
in
be
Los Angeles.
impressed. And the great Michael Beaver, Reagan's infamous, would be impressed.
Oh, that's Pete Aguilar. He's
Yep.
cheering. That's the,
For the hockey team.
Democratic member of
And
leadership.
Los
No, he's
Angeles
cheering
is
for
going to
the
be
Olympics
safe, just
because
like
they're in LA.
Washington, D.C. is now one of the safest cities in the country.
What a turn. What a pivot. Hockey team's great. Okay.
And
How about
this
Washington?
year, and I must say, I got them both. I got them in my first term, and I was disappointed because I didn't think I'd be the president when this happened. But strange things took place, and now I've got them because I got the Olympics, and I got the 2026 FIFA World Cup, and I wanted to claim the 250th, but I didn't get away with that one. I couldn't claim that one for myself. But we're getting the World Cup, so we have the World Cup and the Olympics coming, and that is exciting news.
It is. I mean,
He
it's not
is-
on him, but it's exciting.
He is lucky.
Yeah.
I mean, political luck
Timing
matters.
is, yeah. Bill Clinton got
So
the
this
first time
will be
America
a
hosted
year
the World
to
Cup.
celebrate our country and the heroes who have kept it free. Men like Buddy Taggart. At age 17, Buddy volunteered to defend America.
Reagan
in
started
World
this.
War
This
II,
is Lenny Skutnik.
Yeah.
serving in the
But,
Pacific under the
You
great
got to get
General
Reagan's
Douglas
the one who
MacArthur.
started this with
He
the
fought
guests
bravely
and
in
Faces
the
in the
famous
crowd.
Yeah,
Battle
and
of
it's
Manila.
really effective.
Worked so hard. He was badly wounded and almost killed by enemy machine guns in Luzon. And 81 years ago this month, he liberated the largest internment camp in the Philippines, one of the largest anywhere in the world. But he earned many honors, including a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star, came home, started a family, and tonight he is in the gallery looking forward to July 4th, 2026, his 100th birthday.
And again, you can deride this kind of stuff, but this is State of the Union, like 101, right? Like,
Well,
this
it's
is-
one way to do the. No, there's two different ways to do the State of the Union, and this is, which is you could try to do somewhat of a policy pivot for the reset, or you do sort of Donald Trump's parade of stars, right? And
Yeah.
you create moments, and then when
yeah,
all is said and done,
everyone is going to clap for this person.
And then-
Everyone is
right.
going to clap for the hockey team. And there's enough.
so far he's
Well,
not
buddy,
given a
you're a
single new
brave man, and we
policy
salute
proposal of
you.
anything.
No.
There's really no.
Even in times of challenge,
Nothing
setback,
serious
and
on that front
immense
yet.
heartache, the spirit of
And we're 25 minutes in.
1776 has always shone through very brightly. It was July 4th of last year when floodwaters tore through a girls' summer camp in
Now, this
Central
is not-
Texas.
this
One of the
story
worst
is
things
just
I've ever
awful.
seen. I
My
was there.
God.
Rising 26 feet in the matter of minutes, tragically claiming many, many lives. You all remember that one. As the waters threatened to sweep her away, 11-year-old Millie Kate McClelland closed her eyes and prayed to God. She thought she was going to die. Those prayers were answered when Coast Guard rescue swimmer Scott Ruskin descended from a helicopter above. Nobody knew where he came from. It was Scott's first ever rescue mission, a young guy, but very brave, very, very top, always top in his class. And he lifted not just Millie Kate, but 164 others to safety.
So I would assume he'll do a few more of these kind of set pieces, right? Of this person did this person did that. And then I'm kind of interested to see where he goes from there. Like,
Right.
this will
It
go
may
for
be
another.
that the first part of his speech is just the
We
Lou
accomplished
Rawls
these
parade,
things.
the Lou Rawls Parade of Stars.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lou Rawls Parade. We're so old.
I know. It's the Lou Rawls Parade of Stars.
So true.
It's
Sad
like
that
the
I got
competitor
that.
to the Jerry Lewis
Yes,
telephone.
Jerry Lewis.
People
telephone.
watched Scott from a distance,
You
and they couldn't believe what they were seeing. The winds were blowing, the rain was pouring, everything was going, and that rapid water, nobody's ever seen anything like it. They said, wow, that's something. Tonight, Scott and Millie Kate are here together, reunited for the very first time. Thank you, Scott, Millie Kate.
It's so cute. I mean, that's cute. They fist bump, you know.
No, this is the
But again, he's trying to get some level of like reflected glory and popularity. The reality of the situation is Donald Trump just stands up there and talks. Donald Trump is in the low four. Donald Trump is at the lowest point of either of his
Petty
presidencies in
Officer
terms of polling,
Ruskin,
right, Chuck?
Yeah,
I'm pleased
I think
to
that's
inform
right.
you that I am now awarding you the Legion of Merit for extraordinary heroism, which is what it was, extraordinary heroism. Thank you.
Well, the medal delivery on camera in the State of the Union. You can tell, I feel like, in moments like this, that this was a guy who was like a reality TV star and
Yeah,
producer.
this is
you know what I mean?
reality.
His producer.
This is the
I'd like to
reality
have the
TV show.
military aid to please come down and take care of the service. Military aid, thank you very much. Take care of that very important service. Thank you very much. From 1776 to today, every generation of Americans has stepped forward to defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And they're really doing it for the next generation. But now it's our turn. Together, we're building a nation where every child has the chance to reach higher and go further, where government answers to the people, not the powerful, and where the interests of hardworking American citizens are always our first and ultimate concern. That is the debt we owe to the heroes who came before us, and that is the promise we must keep to America for our 250th year. Last year, I urged this Congress to begin the mission by passing the largest tax cuts in American history, and our Republican majorities delivered so beautifully. Thank you, Republicans.
Just again, it's not the largest tax cut in American history. He said that about the first tax cut,
Which
He
was
said-
also
which
not
was
the
also
largest.
not the largest tax cut in American history, and he said it about this one. I mean, it's just I know he doesn't care, but these things
All
are so easily
Democrats,
checkable.
every single
I know he
one of
doesn't
them
care.
voted against these really important and very necessary massive tax cuts. They wanted large-scale tax increases to hurt the people instead. But we held strong, and with the great, big, beautiful bill, we gave you no tax on tips,
So the best you
no
can
tax
come up
on
with is
overtime,
6 on
and
GDP.
no tax on Social
For biggest
Security
tax
for
cut.
our
It's just
right.
like
Ronald Reagan had the
fundamentally
biggest.
false. It's
Truman,
rigged, yeah.
Truman had the next 2. Obama extending the Bush tax cut was 3, believe it or not.
That's unbelievable.
LBJ, and then
It's
so,
just, he says it all the time.
by the way, Democrats accounted for 4 of the top
And we
6
also made
tax cuts in
interest on
American
auto
history.
loans tax
Boy, how do you handle
deductible
that
the
talking
first
point,
time.
fact?
How does that one go
Only
down?
if
Yeah.
the car is made in America.
And yes, Trump can claim the largest one in raw dollars. But
Well,
that's
yeah,
because
but
of
I mean, that's like
inflation.
him
Yeah.
saying, like, more people are working than ever before. Yeah, there
Yeah.
are more people in
There's
the
just
U.S.
more
than ever
people.
before.
Recently
Yeah,
in
I mean,
Pennsylvania, I met Megan Hemhauser, a devoted mom who's homeschools her children, beautiful, 2 children, during the day while waiting tables at night as her husband works overtime operating very heavy equipment. Megan is here this evening, and she's happy to tell you that she is so much richer because with no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and her expanded child tax credit done again by Republicans, Megan and her husband will take home more than $5,000 extra just for the year, cutting her tax bill in more than half.
So here's the risk on this strategy, right? A lot of Republicans believe that once the refunds kick in, that people are going to start to feel this
Megan,
tax cut.
please stand up. We're
The
fighting
problem
for you, Megan.
is if the tax refund is eaten up by higher electricity bills,
Yep.
higher food costs,
if everything
higher
costs
healthcare
more,
costs,
right?
how much money is left
Thank
by
you,
November,
Megan.
right? Like,
We're
and
fighting for you, Megan.
that's why
Under
my
our bill,
skepticism
parents
that
like
yes,
Megan
people
can
will be
also activate their
fine in
children's
April and
brand
May. They're
new
like,
Trump
okay,
accounts.
But by the time they
and then it's
actually
all
go to
gone,
vote-
and they won't really have
I
felt
know.
anything.
But this is
I
a
did
function
not
Look,
of
think
maybe they're right, and this will create some sort of economic stimulus.
Nobody
I'm skeptical.
believes me.
Look at
but
that
I did
cat
not
run.
name
Megan
him. He's
Hemhauser,
named by a
mother
very
of
tall
2
man
children.
sitting. He's right there
It's
in the
like,
third row.
who's writing these things?
Nice man, a good
C-SPAN's going to be as neutral.
Tax
as
They are,
investment
C-SPAN,
accounts
yes.
Right.
for
Come on, man.
every
But this
American
is to our
job.
point. He's
Something
trying to
so
highlight
special
the
and has
things that,
taken off
in
and gone through
theory,
the
are
roof.
good.
Sure.
Right? The
Millions of
immigration
by the
stuff
way,
at the
that's-
border, this, I mean,
that's
that's
rational
what presidents do.
political, like it's politics.
But there's a
101.
lot that people
Michael
don't
and
like.
Susan Dell,
I mean,
who have
notice it is
donated
interesting. He's yet to bring up Iran. It may be the
$250
next thing
billion
he
to
does in the
fund
next
the Trump
24 hours.
accounts.
Iran,
25 million
tariffs,
American
or
children.
he talked about border, but not immigration.
Right. He hasn't talked about ICE.
Yeah.
They're great people.
I wonder if he. I wonder if that's the mention. By the way, I wonder if we haven't gotten. We won't get into the mentions.
When I asked Michael Dell, how do you make all that money? He said, well, I just sat on my dorm in school and I made computers and I'd sell them to people. And I just kept selling and selling and selling. And pretty amazing story. That's called the American dream. He sold a lot of computers, a lot of those laptops. So I congratulate him on that. But I really thank him and Susan, as well as others like Brad Gerstner, a very tremendous guy. He was behind it right from the beginning. Brad Gerstner. Thank you,
I
Brad.
always think it's weird. I know he's being theatrical, but when he goes, "Sold those laptop," no, he does that like weird, like verbal thing.
Yeah. He's got a. It's either a lisp or it's like his. It's his cat.
I don't
come
know.
undone,
It's like,
like
it's
at
like he's
night.
going into
Well,
falsetto.
Well, this remember this happened a lot in his first term.
These young
Something
people's
Yes.
caps would be
accounts could
That's
loosened,
right, I
go
do
over
remember that.
and it would come undone, and
$100,000
he
or
would
more
like
by the time
feel like
they
he was
turn
listening.
18.
And
Think of it.
I mean,
How much money is that
trust
for
me,
somebody?
if
that's
your
ugly,
actual
nothing.
teeth look as good as his
Over
do at
100,000.
79 years
79.
old,
They're
you-
not your actual teeth.
They're not your
This
actual teeth.
investment in our
They're
children's
not the.
future.
They're not the
Go
original.
to
teeth.
TrumpAccounts.com.
Oh, he's not alone. I think Biden had caps,
TrumpAccounts.com.
too.
A lot of people are doing it. It's setting every record in the book. It's popular. They knew what it was going to take. I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of the people that got it started. And now it's just taken off. One of the primary reasons for our country's stunning economic turnaround, the biggest in history, where the Dow Jones broke 50,000 4 years ahead of schedule, and the S&P hit 7,000.
Okay, here's an awkward
where it
problem
wasn't
about
supposed to
bragging
do it
about
for
the
many
Dow
years.
over 50. You know what the Dow is
were
not at the moment?
tariffs.
Over 50.
Correct.
Yeah.
I
Like
use these
the Dow is
tariffs,
actually
freaking hundreds of
49,174.
billions of dollars to make
So
great deals for our country, both
What's the problem
economically
if you're going to
and
latch
on a
yourself
this
to
is
this?
why
I
you
mean, it
never
just
latch
makes no
yourself to
sense.
the stock
Everything was
market.
working
Can't
well.
control it.
He can
Countries
never
that
help
were
himself.
I know.
ripping us off for decades
There's
are now
such
paying
not a
us
single
hundreds of
political
billions
strategist
of
left or
dollars.
right
No.
would tell
They were ripping
anybody,
us so
any
badly, you all know
politician,
that.
like your
Everybody
first
Of course
day
not.
in
It's
office,
totally.
Even the
I mean,
Democrats,
never,
they just don't want to say it.
never
And yet
link
these
yourself with the stock
countries
market.
are now happy, and so are we. We made deals. The deals are all done.
No, they're not done anymore.
And they're happy.
They're going to get
Not
undone.
making money like they used to, but we're making a lot of money. There was no inflation, tremendous growth, and the big story was how Donald Trump called the economy correctly, and 22 Nobel Prize winners in economics didn't. They got it totally wrong.
he says that. He says
They got
that in
it
every
really
speech.
wrong.
All these Nobel
And then
Prize
just 4
economists
days
said
ago, an
that tariffs were going to
unfortunate
tank the
ruling from the
economy,
United
and
States
I said they
Supreme
weren't,
Court.
and I was
It just
right.
came down. It came
I don't know where he's
Very
getting that
unfortunate
number
ruling.
from. Like I don't. Like he says that all the
Right.
time.
But the
I don't know
good
why.
news
But
is that almost all countries and corporations want to keep the deal that they already made.
Almost
Right,
all the
Scott?
countries, which means
Knowing
none of
that
them yet.
the legal
Sorry.
power that I, as
I mean, you have to
president,
sort of
have
know how to
make a
interpret
new
the
deal
Trump
could
BS.
be far worse for them.
He knows he doesn't have
And
any
therefore,
deals
they
yet.
will continue to work along the same successful path that we had negotiated before the Supreme Court's unfortunate involvement.
Here we go.
So despite the disappointing ruling, these powerful country saving, it's saving our country, the kind of money we're taking in, peace protecting. Many of the wars I settled was because of the threat of tariffs. I
settled.
wouldn't have been able to settle them without. Will remain in place under fully approved and tested alternative legal statutes.
He almost seems
They've been
resigned, not
tested
angry.
for a long time.
shout out to the C-SPAN
Yeah, a little more
cameras.
Yeah, they're
complex.
I
doing
love
well.
that close up
They're
on
actually
Roberts and on
probably
Amy Coney
better,
Barrett.
leading to a solution that will be even stronger than before. Congressional action will not be necessary. It's already time tested and approved.
No, it's not,
No.
And
man.
as time
Buddy,
goes by, I
150
believe
days,
the
and it's
tariffs
limited.
paid for by foreign countries
paid
will,
for by the
like
American
in the past,
consumer. According to the New York Fed,
substantially
90%.
New York
replace
Fed,
the system of income
90% of the
tax,
cost of the
taking a
tariffs
great
borne by the
financial
U.S.
burden
companies.
And
off
that
the
was
people
last year
that
when
I
some of
love.
them tried to hold it back. It's going to be closer to 95%.
90%. 90%, people. 90%.
90% of the cost of the tariffs borne by the U.S. companies.
That's
90% of the cost of the tariffs borne by the U.S. companies. 90% of the cost of the tariffs borne by the U.S. companies. 90% of the cost of the tariffs borne by the U.S. companies. 90% of the cost of the tariffs borne by the U.S. companies. 90% of the cost of the tariffs borne by the U.S. companies. 90% of the cost of the tariffs borne by the U.S. companies. 90% of the cost of the tariffs borne by the U.S. companies. 90% of the cost of the tariffs borne by the U.S. companies. 90% of the cost of the tariffs borne by the U.S. companies. 90% of the cost of the tariffs borne by the U.S. companies. 90% of the cost of the tariffs borne by the U.S
This is the part where literally he's trying to will something into reality that just isn't true. And the problem, he can do it on faking how many wars he ended. People live the economy. They feel the economy. They know what he's saying isn't true. And that's why his
And that disconnect
low
is terrible
40s.
politics.
You can't.
Put America first.
The voter doesn't need you and I to fact check them
No.
on Trump on the economy. They're fact checking them every day. They see it. They feel it. This isn't manufactured. He's trying to manufacture.
Yep.
And he comes across not convincing because he's also seems to be like, no, he's kind of tired right now.
Well, when he reads off the prompter, I see a bunch of people in the comments saying he's low energy. When he reads off the prompter, which is what he's doing now, this is how he appears. I would not say he's more or less. He just so rarely reads off the
When
prompter.
he reads off a prompter,
This
and you
is
can always
this
tell
is
'cause he
his
squints.
prompter. Yeah.
I mean, he gives it away.
Corrupt partners in Congress and
He wouldn't have
beyond.
passed a teleprompter reading
No.
anchor school.
No, not in
and
anchor
little
school.
boy anchor school.
Open borders for everyone. They poured in by the millions and millions from prisons, from mental institutions. They were murderers. 11,000.
But it says we should switch chairs. No, they should fix the chirons.
Yeah.
It says Chuck and Chris.
Oh,
rather than-
well, you know who we are.
Yeah, yeah.
Or
the
2020
CNC
presidential candidate, Mark
and his running
Mark
mate,
Kelly,
from
and his
Michigan.
running mate, Alyssa Slotkin.
Alyssa
Now
Slotkin.
the
Yeah,
same
there it is.
people in this
Kelly
chamber
Slotkin.
who voted for those disasters suddenly used the word affordability, a word they just used it. Somebody gave it to them. Knowing full
He always
well
says
they
this. He always
caused
says
and
like
created
he always says Democrats made up like
increased
no one
prices
used the
that
word
Ever
affordability
again.
before the
citizens
last
had to
16
endure.
months.
You
Wow.
caused
Like
that
I feel
problem.
like that's
You
not
caused
accurate.
that problem.
Yeah.
I just don't think the
Here's where you
Democrats
know.
made
Guess what
up
they're not doing?
affordability.
Guess what they're not doing? They're not focus grouping what Trump's saying, or at least they're not showing him the results of how these focus groups are
They
responding.
knew
to
their
this.
statements were a lie. They knew it. They knew their statements were a dirty, rotten lie. Their policies created the high prices. Our policies are rapidly ending them. We are doing really well. Those prices are plummeting down.
This is, to your point, this is the wish casting, like trying to convince people we are doing really well. Prices are down. Again, you don't have to have Chuck and I say that's not the case.
The price
Go
of eggs
buy things at the grocery
is
store.
down.
I mean,
Everything is up.
60%.
And tariffs have
Madam Secretary, thank you.
really hurt the
The
grocery.
cost of chicken, butter, fruit, hotels,
up.
automobiles, rent is lower today than when I took office by a lot. And even beef, which was very high, is starting to come down significantly. Just hold on a little while. We're getting it down. And soon you will see numbers that few people would think
Ooh,
were
the old
possible
promise
to
in the
achieve
future.
just a short time of
very soon.
I will.
Read my lips. No new taxes.
I'll promise you. I will gladly pay you 25 cents for tomorrow for a hamburger today.
Get all wimpy.
It's like another big tax cut. I'm also confronting one of the biggest ripoffs of our times, the crushing cost of health care caused by you. Since the passage of the Unaffordable Care Act, sometimes referred to as Obamacare, big insurance companies have gotten rich.
It
was meant
is
for the
interesting.
insurance
This is at
companies,
least
not
the
for
third time
people.
by my count where he has
With our
like
government
openly
giving
and
them
directly antagonized
hundreds and
Democrats.
hundreds
And
of
I don't know
billions
if
of
that
dollars a
is
year
strategic
as their
to
stock
try to
prices
get
soared
them to
1,000,
respond and make it a
1,200,
thing, or he just
1,400,
that's
and
just who
even
he is.
1,700%.
They haven't sort of taken the bait yet.
Like nothing else. That's why I introduced the great health care plan. I want to stop all payments to big insurance companies and
Like
instead
RFK Jr.
give
is
that
trying
money
to bring back
directly
that
to the
skinny
people.
tie.
So
Like
they
he's a
can
member of the
buy
Mighty
their
Mighty
own
Boss
health care,
Band.
which will be better health care at a much lower cost.
So he doesn't want to give money to insurance companies. Is he advocating government?
No, government-run healthcare.
Like, if you don't use insurance companies, what are you
I
going
know.
to use?
What's the medium?
Yeah.
In addition, my plan
Good luck getting
requires
Congress to take that up.
maximum
These guys won't take
price
that up.
Obamacare
They'd
is
take
at-
up tariffs.
That's
By the
a
way,
big
they'd do a
deal.
vote on tariffs before they would do a vote on
Obamacare is
health
at
care.
60%
So
approval.
big.
I mean, it just is. They're not
No,
and
political
also,
suicide.
breaking
I
news,
did
they
that
have
in
no
my first
plan
term,
in
and the
place.
Democrats
Again.
immediately terminated it with full knowledge that they were doing a very bad thing for the people. Costs were going to go way up, and that's what happened. And now I'm bringing them way down on health care and everything else. I'm also ending the wildly inflated cost of prescription drugs like has never happened before.
TrumpRx.gov. I actually think this is a good story for him. I listened to this great New York Times daily podcast about Trump RX that on fertility drugs and weight loss drugs, GLP-1s, it is actually work.
But they never
Like he
could.
actually
They
did
tried.
use the presidency to like
Most did
bully
try.
these
Right.
companies. Not
For
on
what
every
his
drug.
base
They
wants.
said
Not on every
The weight
drug.
loss drug
And fertility.
and fertility.
I know.
Basically,
They were all talk
the drugs he
and
wants.
no action.
The UFC,
But I got
UFC
it done.
drugs.
The UFC
Yeah.
drugs.
Under my just enacted most favored nation agreements, Americans who have for decades paid by far the highest prices of any nation anywhere in the world for prescription drugs will now pay the lowest
It's really
price
funny to
anywhere in
watch
the world for drugs.
Republicans
Anywhere.
adopt
The lowest
Democratic
price.
talking points on prescription drugs. And on the whole, I mean, this literally, you like in through the outdoor, right? You're just like this interesting,
So
but
my
they haven't really
first
figured
year,
out how to do it.
second
Like the
term,
Democrats couldn't figure out how to do it.
should be my third term, but strange things happen.
Remarkable.
I took
State of the Union address.
prescription
Should be my third
drugs,
term.
a very big part of healthcare, from the highest price in the entire world to the lowest. That's a big achievement. The result is price differences of 300, 400, 500, 600% and more, all available right now at a new website called TrumpRx.gov. And I didn't name that one either, by the way.
By the way, 40 minutes in right now, he has not offered, as far as I can tell, check me on this, but I don't think he's offered a
Here tonight
new
is the very
proposal
first
yet.
customer ever to
No.
get that
Previous
big
stuff.
discount, and it is big. Catherine Rayner. For 5 years, she and her husband have struggled with infertility, and they turned to IVF. One drug has been costing Catherine $4,000 to purchase. But a few weeks ago, she logged onto the Trump RX website and got that same drug that cost $4,000, got it for under $500, a reduction of much more, actually, than $3,500.
When he got caught up in the IVF controversy, he promised.
We are all praying for you.
It is interesting how
a
he
great
is
mom.
trying to fulfill that promise.
Yep.
And that was really all Katie Britt. wasn't it?
Yep.
Problem with doing Trump RX is that it's like, you know, Obama wouldn't put Obamacare on it because there would be people that wouldn't do it. And
Yes, of course.
you shouldn't do this. It's like these Trump accounts or government accounts. They're good ideas, but by calling them Trump accounts, you're gonna have some people that won't
do it.
participate in it.
Yep.
And
I wish
that's why
he had
government
called it-
should be for all the people, not for your partisan, promotional.
I wish he had said a fat pill, which is what he calls the GLP-1s. I have a friend on the
But
fat
John
pill.
and Mike, if you don't mind, codify it anyway. They may do it. Codify it anyway. Thank you. Many Americans are also concerned that energy demand from AI data centers could unfairly drive up their electric utility bills. Tonight, I'm pleased to announce that I have negotiated
is
the
an-
new ratepayer protection.
This is an
pledge.
important
You
thing
know
if you
what
can
that is.
deliver it.
We're telling the major tech companies that they have the obligation to provide for their own power needs. They can build their own power plants as part of their factory so that no one's prices will go up. And in many cases, prices of electricity will go down for the community and very substantially down. This is a unique strategy never used in this country before. We have an old grid.
Secretary of
we've never
Energy.
handled the kind of numbers, the
Look,
amount of
this is a
electricity
promise that I
that's
think,
needed. So I'm
no
telling
matter what
them
you think,
they
I
can
hope it
build their
comes
own
true.
plants,
I agree.
they can
I hope
produce
this
their own
works.
electricity. It will ensure the company's ability to get electricity while at the same time lowering prices of electricity for you, and could be very substantial for all of you cities and towns.
I'm
You're gonna see
slightly
some good
worried
things
about
happen over the next
giving
number of
all
years.
this private
Another
energy
pillar of the
sources that are
American
suddenly going to be
dream that has
owned,
been
and
under
you know, if we
attack
ever
is
run
homeownership.
into a problem, you know,
With us
I know.
we should
tonight
make
Uh-oh.
sure that it's
Rachel
part of
Wiggins,
the
mom
A sleep watch.
from Houston. She placed bids on 20 homes and lost all of those bids to gigantic investment firms that bypassed inspection.
There's another one that Bernie
paid all
Sanders and
cash,
Elizabeth Warren will be
and turned those houses
I mean,
into rentals,
it is-
The
stealing away
populism
her
thing is real.
American
No.
dream. She was devastated. Stories like this are
Look, there
why
is
last
a
month I signed executive
populist
order to
majority
ban
in this
large Wall
country
Street
if you
investment
drop the
firms from
cultural
buying
stuff.
up in
If
the
it was
thousands
just on like
single
economic
family
sort of
homes.
populism,
Yep.
there's
Which is
a
fascinating because
majority-
JD Vance is not a populist.
No,
Sitting
not-
behind him at all. I mean, he's,
Yeah, not when you're like
like it's a
your
fascinating.
benefactor's Peter Thiel. But
I know.
you do play a
And now I'm
populist
asking
country.
Congress
maybe.
to make that ban permanent because homes for people Really, that's what we want. We want homes for people, not for corporations. Corporations are doing just fine.
Corporate
Racel,
people too, my
thank you
friends.
very much. Good luck with your home. You'll get one soon.
Good luck with your home, Chuck. You'll get one soon.
We're also working to make it easier for Americans to save for retirement. And under this administration, we will always protect Social Security and Medicare. They are not protecting it for our seniors. We will always protect Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid.
It is fascinating.
You know, it's interesting with Medicaid.
Yeah.
He doesn't say it right away, and you think, oh, is he going to leave Medicaid
Nope.
out?
Since
And then he
I took
caught
office,
himself. We're not going to touch
the
Medicaid. The
typical
problem is
401k
they've already touched
balance
Medicaid.
is up by at least
Well, and also, I mean,
$30,000.
15 years ago,
That's
Paul
a
Ryan
lot
was
of
chosen
money.
as the VP because
We have
he
millions and
expressly
millions of
said we
people,
have to
because
deal
the
with
stock market has
entitlements.
done so well, setting all those
Feels like
records
200 years ago. I
before
feel like I'm on
our
crazy
kids
pills
were
Well,
here.
born.
no. I mean, it's
Yet half of all
do
of
think
working Americans still do not have access
those
to a
Republicans
retirement
that were
plan
there
with
and voted
matching
for it that are left are the
contributions
ones
from
that have turned out
an
not to
employer.
be.
Yeah.
To remedy
They
this
don't really have
gross
any-
disparity, I'm announcing that
principles.
next
I mean,
year
they
my
just- they don't
administration
have an
will give these
ideology, they just wanted to be in power.
forgotten American workers, great people.
But
the
there's a lot of
that
people that have
built
been
our
purged from the
country.
party.
Access
Paul
to
Ryan
the
Wing
same
is
type
Yep.
of retirement
Jeff
plan
Flake.
offered to every
Lot.
federal worker. We will match your contribution with up to $1,000 each year, as we ensure that all Americans can profit from a rising stock market. Let's also ensure that members of Congress cannot corruptly profit from using insider
It's an
information.
interesting
So-
transition. You went from the Trump accounts to insider trading.
But Anna Paulina Luna from Florida has pushed this idea that
Right.
this stock
And
act
they're
where you can
stopping.
and Mike Johnson blocks it.
Yeah.
So
Well-
he's like standing up, cheering for Trump, basically proposing the exact same.
Well,
I mean, I think that's
understand
right.
the congressional guys are like, well, there better be a ban on
They stood
everybody
up
else doing
for
the
that.
executive.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, but I mean, I
He
do.
just mentioned.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Did Nancy Pelosi stand up if she's here? Doubt it. Pass the Stop Insider Trading Act without delay.
I mean, again, the problem
It is
is
funny
not
to
the
see Mike
it's not the
Johnson.
Democrats,
Yeah,
it's
this
the
is a Mike Johnson.
Republicans. I mean, like that.
Yeah, these are the Republican lawmakers that don't want that are stopping the market. not the
Right.
Democrats.
I wasn't sure if anybody even on this side was going to applaud for that. I'm very impressed. Thank you. I'm very impressed. But when it comes to the corruption that is plundering, it's plundering America. There's been no more stunning
Amazing
example
what he
than
projects.
Minnesota, where
Corruption
members
that
of
plunges
the
America alike.
Somali community
You talking
have
about
pillaged
Like crypto?
World Liberty
an estimated
Financial?
$19 billion from the American taxpayer. Oh, we have all the information. And in actuality, the number is much higher than that. And California, Massachusetts,
Really is
Maine,
such a.
and many
He doesn't
other
ever
states
know how to
are
not
even
be a
worse.
partisan. Like
This
it
is
is
the kind
just.
of
Oh, it's
corruption
in
that
him.
Yeah,
shreds
yes,
the
it's in his
fabric of
DNA.
a
And it's
nation,
like
and
this
we are
is
working on
this
it
is
like
why
you wouldn't
independents are
believe.
souring on him.
So
2-1.
tonight,
He is
although
no interest in talking to swing
started 4
voters.
months ago,
He is.
I am officially
this-
announcing the war on
He
fraud
might as
to
well
be
be like
led
the
by our
adult
great
voice in
Vice
Charlie Brown.
President
The
J.D.
way
Vance.
he's speaking, he's talking so deep into the
And that's
to
interesting,
the
by the way.
silo for his because that's his feedback loop.
That's
His feedback loop is like the truth social core
Yep.
person. It isn't
no,
like
it's a troll.
Mr. and Mrs. Independent America that doesn't really like either party.
And by the way, he just announced that J.D. Vance, presidential
get it
candidate
done.
waiting, is going to lead the war on
And we're
fraud,
able
which will,
to find
help
enough
make J.D.
of
Vance
that
even more
fraud.
popular among the Republican
We
base.
will actually have a balanced budget overnight. It'll go very quickly. That's the kind of money you're talking about. We'll balance our budget.
Well, if he sells
The
pardons
Somali
and applies that
pirates
money to
who
the debt,
ransacked Minnesota. Is
that how we sell
there
pardons
are
in this
large
country?
parts of the world where bribery, corruption, and lawlessness are the norm, not the exception. Importing these cultures through unrestricted
he's giving a
immigration
narration
and
for
open
somebody that's going to
borders
make a documentary
brings those
about Trump,
problems right here
about
to
what
the
how
USA.
Trump has personally
And it is
profited from his
the
presidency.
American people who
And
pay
this
the price in
excerpt
higher
will be the
medical bills,
narration
cars,
of
It's
people
got
plundering the
so-
government to enrich
taxes,
Plunder.
themselves.
perhaps most
Yeah, it'll
importantly,
be like a
crime.
cell phone and some
We
documentary.
By the
will
way,
take care of
so
this
now
problem.
they
We
go to
will take care
Rashida
of this
Tlaib
problem. We are
and
not
Ilhan
playing
Omar
games.
sitting next to each other.
Delilah.
And Sarah McBride, first transgender member of Congress, is just to their right, screen left, looking nonplussed.
Who did to leave? Not boycott.
No, Rashida Tlaib there, though, with an F
Delilah
ice pin
Colton
on.
was only 5 years old in June. 2024, when a 18-wheel tractor trailer plowed into her stopped car traveling at 60 miles an hour or more. The driver was an illegal alien let in by Joe Biden and given a commercial driver's license by open borders politicians.
Buddy of mine who's watching our live stream, we're talking about the long
Doctor said
gone Ryan
Delilah
wing of the
would never
party.
be
He says,
able
we're not
to
all
walk or
gone.
talk.
There's a
Yeah,
couple
they're
of us.
still there. They're
I know.
hiding.
I know.
Wouldn't
You're the
be
Kevin
able to
Bacon.
speak
Remain
again.
calm. All is
But
well
against
wing
all
of the
odds,
Republican
she is
Party.
Every
now
once in a while,
first
someone
grade
will
learning
email
to
me and be
walk.
like, why aren't you talking more
And
about
she's
Nikki
here
Haley in
this
2028?
evening.
I'm like, have you been on planet
Mark is a
Earth for the last 10
fantastic
years?
man. Delilah, please. You are a great inspiration. Please stand up.
And again, these are moments that
Look, it is. This is what
very
makes it
much
awkward.
part of the State
It's
of
all
the
part of the
Union.
larger point he wants to make about undocumented.
Yep, they are
immigrants.
doing these terrible things. This little girl
But I
was injured.
dare
in
you
it.
not to clap for this little girl.
Right.
Quite an hour. Still going
Thank you,
on.
Delilah.
Nope. No foreign
Many of
policy,
them
really,
most
right?
illegal aliens do not
He said,
speak
"I've ended."
English and cannot read even the most basic road signs as to direction, speed, danger, or location. That's why tonight I'm calling on Congress to pass what we will call the Delilah Law, barring any state from granting commercial driver's licenses to illegal aliens.
And again, this is wheelhouse stuff for him, where he probably has a majority support in the country.
So this is actually
For something
might
like this.
complicate NAFTA because there has to be some over-country ability to allow.
And yesterday, as you probably saw,
sure
at
this
the
is
White
a
Right,
House,
people who are
most
not
of the
American
ceremony,
citizens.
Correct, that are
but
allowed to drive trucks into the
Americans
country.
who lost
anyway.
their treasured loved ones to the scourge of illegal immigration. People came into our country, how we allowed this to happen with our open borders. These are the angel moms and families that for decades our government betrayed and our media totally ignored. It was terrible. Hard to believe, actually. In 2023, a 16-year-old high school cheerleader named Elizabeth Medina was supposed to perform in her town's Christmas parade, but she never arrived. Her mother, Jacqueline, went home to look for her, and she found her lying dead in a bathtub, bleeding profusely after being stabbed 25 times. Elizabeth's killer was a previously arrested illegal alien who had broken in and brutally extinguished the brightest light in her family's life, violently and viciously. Her heartbroken mother is in the gallery to remind everyone in this chamber exactly why we are deporting illegal alien criminals to our country at record numbers, and we're getting them the hell out of here fast. We don't want them.
And again, there is majority support in this country for deporting people here illegally who have committed another crime.
Super majority.
I mean, it's a
Right?
huge.
Like this is not a.
This
is an 80-20.
The problem is they totally lost
Well,
the
but you're-
narrative on that with Alex Preddy and Renee Good, and it turned.
Right.
He's
And they
trying
keep-
to. He's
and
trying
they
to
de-
grind it
And
back.
they
Thank you
deported
very
the
much,
majority of the
Jacqueline.
deportations.
Thank you.
Deportees have not been criminals.
We can
Right.
never forget that many in this room not only allowed the border invasion to happen before I got involved, but indeed they would do it all over again if they ever had the chance. If they ever got elected, they would open up those borders to some of the worst criminals anywhere in the world. The only thing standing between Americans and a wide open border right now is President Donald J. Trump and our great Republican patriots in Congress. Thank you. Thank you.
Nobody goes third person like Donald J. Trump goes third person.
Man, back in my day, Bob Dole.
Get out of Bob Dole's chair. Remember that?
Dole
Was that
As
Saturday
we
Night Live
speak,
when they did the Bob Dole's
Democrats in
chair
this
thing?
chamber
Remember that?
have cut off all funding for the Department of Homeland Security. It's all cut off. It's all cut off.
It's not all cut off.
They have instituted another Democrat shutdown, the first one costing us 2 points on GDP. 2 points we lost on GDP, which probably made them quite happy.
By the way, that's Jimmy Raskin there with the release
Now
the
they have
Epstein
closed
files
the agency
badge, I guess I
responsible
would
for
describe
protecting
that.
Americans from terrorists and murderers.
And Joe Neguse from
Tonight, I'm
Colorado.
demanding the full and immediate restoration of all funding for the border security, homeland
We have that.
security
Count it.
of the United States, and also for helping people clean up their snow. We have no money because of the Democrats, and it would be nice. We'd love to give you a hand at cleaning it up, but you gave no money. Nobody's getting paid. It's a shame. So you have to think about it. We have, in case you didn't know, a pretty large snowstorm out there. One of the great things about the State of the Union is how it gives Americans the chance to see clearly what their representatives
Who is that?
really
Definitely
believe.
asleep, by the way.
So tonight,
Ouch.
I'm inviting every legislator to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
Are you surprised no Democrats stand up for that? I mean, as far as I can tell.
but this is such a
I guess it's so
classic
polarized
sort
that you
of,
can't-
where the United States doesn't have a duty to protect the lives of his fellow world citizen.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
I believe there are laws. I mean,
know.
it's such a
He's
know what
doing the
it's
point
for.
to
That was-
Democrats for
yeah,
not standing.
It's just so cynical. You're trying to create. It's the classic. When did you stop beating your wife?
Well,
I
and
think
it's to a point about there's not really been even an attempt at outreach.
Well, that's the thing. The larger takeaway of the speech is he has no interest at all at reaching swing voters who are skeptical of his administration.
And by the way,
He has done nothing
swing
but
voters,
talk
he's
to
in
the voters.
He's in the 20s and 30s.
Oh,
Approval. I
he's
mean,
getting
like you
killed on
got it
independent.
politically speaking.
Yeah.
Whether he wants to reach out to swing voters
And
or not.
here's the divide in America. Republicans are going to say this is a great moment for Republicans.
Yes.
And
Look at them sitting on their hands.
and Democrats are going to say, oh, you that are making a big deal of this isn't a big deal and all this stuff. Now they may use the visual. Democrats don't care about American citizens. They care about illegal aliens. But what Democrats might say is they don't think anybody should be. They believe in the security of everybody that's in this country.
And
By the way, our Constitution applies to everybody who's in the country, regardless of whether you're a citizen.
And this is being drawn out because Republicans think this is a
they think
right.
that this is one of those where the people they have to win over, which are the independents, not fellow Democrats.
Isn't that
are just
a shame? You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Let's be shamed.
That is why I'm
wanted to
also
put the
asking you
Yeah.
to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country, they're blocking the
Amazing
removal
that the guy
of
who
these
came down the
people
first
out
time
of
from the
our country,
escalator,
and you should be
saying
ashamed
that all
of
illegal
yourself.
immigrants coming over the border were
Rapists.
and all.
Some of them are good people.
Right. And here we are. It's still like his go-to.
It's still, yeah. That was 12 years ago.
It's still
right.
his
It's
go-to.
11 years ago. Yep.
He's going to create a fear-monger of
The USA chant is so fascinating to me. Like,
it just politicizes patriotism.
I know.
And it's like,
I know.
And perhaps most importantly, I'm asking you to approve the Save America Act.
This is the voter ID.
Not voter ID. It's more than that.
Right.
That's the
Voter
problem.
ID plus.
If they actually just did simple,
To stop
Go
illegal aliens
picture
and
ID.
others who are unpermitted
and they agreed
persons
to
from
do
voting in
same-day
our
voter
sacred
But it's wiping out like
American
absentee balloting.
elections.
Yeah. I
It's
mean, it's
cheating.
a
It's
broad
rampant in
electoral
our
package.
elections. It's rampant.
doesn't
It's
even
very
have all
simple.
Republicans for it. Lisa
All
Murkowski
voters
does.
must show voter ID.
No, that is not what it is.
Right.
You have to show a birth certificate to prove in order to get. It is. Yeah. When I had to get a driver's license, I had to show a birth certificate. Both in Florida.
Me too. And in
in
Virginia.
Virginia.
Yeah.
All voters must show
Just for the
proof
record
of
too, I looked this up.
citizenship
36
in
states.
order to vote.
36 states already require
Yes.
some form.
No, this is
24
not-
of them you have to have a photo ID. 12 of them you have to
this
have
bill-
some of the
This
Look at
bill is about
mail-in
purging the
ballots
voter
except
roll
for illness,
this cycle
disability,
immediately.
Right.
military,
And
or
now the
travel.
irony is that
None.
the more hurdles you put in the way of voting, the more the Trump base will not vote.
And this should
That's
be
the
an
irony.
easy one.
This
And by
really
the
would
way,
help
it's polling at
Democrats probably win
89%,
by a bigger
including
margin.
Democrats.
Just
89%.
because Democrats are going to follow we'll follow the rules and they'll figure it out. So that's the irony, is that it's a bit self-defeating, but it's only intended to gum up the election.
That's Angie Craig, by the way, running for the Senate in Minnesota, a Democrat.
Bad policy, but nice guy. Just said they want people to shovel snow. They got hit hard. Wants them to shovel snow, but if you apply for that job, you need to show 2 original forms of ID and a Social Security card. Yet they don't want identification for the greatest privilege of them all, voting in America.
I find it
No,
interesting that people, the problem, right, the
both
two parties
Republicans and
have right now.
Democrats
Well, the problem that Republicans have on
overwhelmingly
this
agree
is
on the
they're always
policies
advocating for fewer voters,
We just
I know.
which in a democracy
and
is a
Congress
tell.
I know.
should unite and
Sorry.
enact
Yep.
this common sense, country-saving legislation right now, and it should be before anything else happens.
Just to be clear, I know a lot of people, I get a lot of liberals who ping me and are very concerned about this. The truth of the matter is, this is not going to happen.
It's not intended. It's a bill.
Not meant to happen.
The bill was not written to pass.
Right.
If they actually wanted to pass a bill,
That's
it would
right.
be
And I
simple
think people
voter.
don't understand
It would be
it's
simple
meant
voter
to
ID.
rally the
This is
Republican
meant
base.
to fail so they can
reason
tell their
they don't
base
wanna
that
do
they've
it,
done this, but
why
they
would
actually don't want to
anybody
mess
not
up.
Can
want
you
voter
believe what
ID? One
Democrats won't
reason,
vote for?
because
Just
they
like
wanna
HR1,
cheat.
what the
There's only
Democrats
one
did,
reason.
it was not designed to pass.
They
It was
make
designed
up
to
all
pass. They wouldn't have had
excuses.
public
They
funding of
say
elections.
It's racist. They come up with things, you almost say, what imagination they have. They want to cheat, they have cheated, and their policy is so bad that the only way they can get elected is to cheat. And we're going to stop it.
Hilarious
We have to
projection.
stop it, John.
Would love to read Chuck Schumer's text during this because he's
And
very
here's
careful to
one
be
more
like,
opportunity to
he's
show common
bemused.
sense in government. In the gallery tonight are Sage Blair and her mother, Michelle. In 2021, Sage was 14 when school officials in Virginia sought to socially transition her to a new gender, treating her as a boy and hiding it from her parents. Hard to believe, isn't it? Before long, a confused Sage ran away from home after she was found in a horrific situation in Maryland. A left-wing judge refused to return Sage to her parents because they did not immediately state that their daughter was their son. Sage was thrown into an all-boys state home and suffered terribly for a long time. But today, all of that is behind them because Sage is a
Again,
proud
Sarah
and wonderful
McBride,
young woman
first
with
transgender
a
member of Congress.
full-ride scholarship to Liberty University. Sage and Michelle, please stand up.
this is another one. This is culture war stuff. He does this very.
Wow, this is a pretty aggressive version of it, though. I have
Yes,
to tell you,
it
this is not your run-in-the-mill
No.
stagecraft.
But
This
he,
is
in his speeches, he
this
always
is
says
some
Democrats
really-
want transgender for everyone. Like,
Here's
what the
the
hell does
thing.
that even mean?
Here's the thing. This speech is such a disaster for the swing voter. He's talking about
Thank
trans
you for your
policy.
great bravery.
He's
And who
talking
can
about
believe that we're
How
even
everything
speaking
is
about
cheaper,
things like
even though it's
right,
not.
right. He's talking
15
about
years
stock
ago, if somebody
trading.
was
He's
up
talking.
here and
He
said
is
that, they'd
not
say,
talking about
What's wrong with him?
the
But now we
affordability
have
issue.
to say it because it's going on all over numerous states without even telling the parents. But surely we can all agree no state can be allowed to rip children from their parents' arms and transition them to a new gender against the parents' will.
Now, the
We
irony is
believe
that some of the
we
laws they're
will.
advocating
We
are
must ban
actually
it,
preventing
and we
parents
must ban
from
it
making the
immediately.
decisions about their children's health care. I'm not. I think if I were a legislature, I think I would vote to ban those surgeries under 18. I mean,
I think so,
I think
too.
I'd
I
probably,
agree.
I'd want to see
Nobody
what the
says that.
legislation were written.
These
However,
people are crazy. I'm
I think
telling
at the
you.
end of the
They're
day,
crazy.
I think at the end of the
Ro
day,
Yeah,
parents, the idea that you're taking away a parent's rights to make healthcare decisions on their children
Yep.
is not going to go over well.
Amazing. Gentlemen. Boy, oh boy. We're lucky we have a country with people like this Democrats are destroying our country, but we've stopped it just in the nick
It's
of time.
interesting how openly antagonistic he has been throughout.
Well,
right?
this is the
Pointing
lack
at
of-
them.
This is the age kicking in. He has no filter. Like, this is bad politics.
You think it's
Terrible
Do you
for
think it's
independence.
strategic in his mind?
No one cares
No,
Or he
more
just
about
can't.
who he
protecting
is.
America's youth
This
than
is so
our
bad.
wonderful
Independents hate this.
First lady.
I
Now a
can't.
movie star. She's a movie star.
You see it in all the polling, and they hate this.
Who would have believed
Movie
that?
Because they don't want the antagonist.
Over the past
They're
year,
tired. They're
she has
exhausted
had
from
an
his
incredible
Right.
antagonist.
Like, these people are
They may
crazy.
agree with him on some of these
Legislation
things.
advancing
It's
a
how
landmark
he's going
executive
about
order
it.
on
This
foster
thing is
care
not.
and helping secure $30 million to launch the Melania Trump Foster Youth to Independence Initiative.
He's here.
It's a
The
tremendous.
only thing he hasn't sold is Trump steak.
Really a
He's been
tremendous
selling
thing that
Melania's
happened.
brand.
With
He's
his
selling
beautiful
the Trump
wine.
products. Yeah,
Support.
like,
She gets
Eric,
much
bring some
better
of those steaks out.
bipartisan
Yeah.
support than I do. I get none. She gets a lot. Someday you're going to have to tell me how you did that. And students and educators in every state have joined the First Lady's efforts in the presidential AI challenge, keeping America's next generation positioned to succeed and strongly succeed in the future. Tonight, we welcome two young people whose lives reflect the First Lady's impact, Sierra Burns and
how many people you
Everest
think know that the
Nevermont.
First Lady has an AI initiative?
Thank you both. And
I
Melania, thank
not
you.
not
And
this
Howard.
guy.
I knew it.
Thank
I
you.
remember seeing it a couple weeks ago and going, huh, okay. It's an interesting
I did not-
First Lady initiative. But I didn't quite.
Honestly, all I knew about
Yeah.
AI is what he says in the speech usually, which is we're beating China. We're way ahead of China. What Donald Trump knows about AI could fit in a thimble.
And then the dude texts now, and there was a time he never texted, which is going to be something he regrets. Because his texts are going to be.
Totally. Put nothing in writing.
I'm very proud to say that during
He
my
understood
time
that
in
for a while.
office, both the first 4 years and in particular this last year, there has been a tremendous renewal in religion, faith, Christianity, and belief in God.
So he's going to start talking about Charlie Kirk. The only thing I would say here
It
is
took a while to get to Erica Kirk. I
the
might have
thing-
done that
the only
sooner.
thing that I'm stunned by
Dividing
is
people are-
most of the
We're over an hour.
Yeah, most of the stuff I've seen on organized religion is that it's
It's
down.
because it is
This
down.
is
He keeps
especially
saying
true
this.
among
It's
young
up
people,
slightly
and a big
among
part of
Gen
that
Z.
had to do with
Okay.
And that's where
My
this
great
is.
friend,
So
right,
you
Charlie
can cherry
Kirk,
pick some
the great
numbers. Some
guy.
younger,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
starting to see a little bit of that with some younger.
There's Erica Kirk.
So last year, Charlie was violently murdered by an assassin and martyred, really martyred for his beliefs. His wonderful wife, Erica, is with us tonight. Erica, please stand.
She's already standing. But again, like, even if you don't like Charlie Kirk, like, you know, I mean, or you disagreed with Charlie Kirk, or this is a grieving widow, this is, you know. Charlie can't breaks out.
Thank you, Erica. Been through a lot. In Charlie's memory, we must all come together to reaffirm that America is one nation under God, and we must totally reject political violence of any kind.
I mean, obviously I'm for rejecting political violence. It seems like he's either unaware or doesn't care that, like, when you say, like, these people
We
are
love
crazy
religion,
in a State of the
and we
Union
love
speech, like,
bringing it back,
people
and
watching
it's
this
coming
are like,
back at levels
these
that
people are
nobody
crazy.
Actually thought
Like,
possible.
rhetoric
Really a
matters.
beautiful thing to see.
He's look.
Above all, unleashing
we've-
America's promise
The
requires
violence
keeping our
level in this
community
country
safe.
went up after
We've
he
made
descended down the
incredible
escalator.
strides, yet dangerous
It's a
repeat
causation,
offenders
it's a
continue to be
correlation.
released by pro-crime
We'll let our
Democrat
historians decide that
politicians
after you and I are
again
dead and
and
gone.
again.
But I can tell you,
We're honored to be
certainly looks
joined
like I
tonight by
didn't experience
a woman
anti-Semitism
who's
until
been through hell,
as a
Anya
professional reporter
Zaretsky.
ever
In
before the
2022,
escalator.
she and her
I did
beautiful
after
daughter,
it.
so
He
beautiful, what
is
a
unleashed
beautiful
something.
young
I'm not saying
woman.
he's done
Irina
it all,
fled,
but we are
war
living in a
torn,
different world on this.
war-torn,
Yeah,
these
I think
issues.
the umbrella of
relatives
what people
near
are
And he
comfortable
created more
saying.
pugilism,
North
Yeah.
Carolina.
more violent
And by the
rhetoric,
way, what's going on
and now
with
everybody
Charlotte?
embraces it.
Last summer,
Terrible.
23-year-old Irina was riding home on the train when a deranged monster who had been arrested over a dozen times and was released through no cash bail stood up and viciously slashed
I
a
mean,
knife
this is a Stephen
through her
Miller
neck and
speech.
body.
Clearly, he is cherry
No one will
picking.
ever
What's the
forget
most
there were
extreme
people
ways that we can somehow
on that
make?
train.
And this
to
is the woman
blame,
who was
right,
stabbed
pass
on
bail.
public
The impression
transport.
of
And this is
Sarah
something
on
that is like
Irina's
tried
face
by a
as she
handful.
looked
This
up
is not the entire
at her
Democratic
attacker
Party.
in
It's
the
just
last
like
seconds of
holding,
her life. She died
the
instantly.
Republican Party as a whole
She had escaped
accountable
a
for
brutal
some
war
one
only to
thing
be
to
white
slain
supremacist
by
thing
a
or something
hardened
like that,
criminal,
right? Like
set free
but
to
that's
kill
politics,
in
right?
America,
Especially in the
came
age
in
of
through
Trump.
open borders.
But what's interesting is this speech is not even
Mrs.
trying to
Zaretsky,
reach
tonight
out
I
to them,
promise you,
Nope.
we
let
will
alone
ensure
in the way you
justice for your
independence is actually
magnificent
reaching
daughter.
out.
Well, and I see
To the
people in
other
the
party.
comments being like, "My MAGA-based friends love this."
Yeah,
Yes,
that's the-
but they're going
that's-
to be
yeah, this
for
is the
him
wrong
no matter
audience.
What? That's
the
not
wrong
the
audience.
point. That's the issue.
Your
it's-
State of the Union shouldn't be a rally speech. By the way, you should feed your base red meat in politics. You shouldn't do it on the night of the State of the Union when you're actually talking to people
Or
who don't
do
always
How do you not
support tune in.
stand?
Well, and I would
How do you
say
not
maybe
stand?
do a little.
I'm
revenue,
asking this
but you
Congress
do
to
some
pass
out.
tough
Correct, and you're not
legislation
doing
to
anything.
ensure that violent and dangerous
It's just
repeat
sort of
offenders are put
like,
behind
and this is
bars,
going to be Twitter's
and
going to be
importantly,
just
that they stay there.
silly because it's the part, the worst speech, the best speech.
Of course.
I can just tell you, it's just not going to play with the middle. This speech is not going to have at all accomplished what Republicans.
Especially
really
when you
need it.
consider where he started with the middle at the
Starting
start of the
last
speech.
summer,
Do you know what I mean?
deployed
It's
our
not like he
National
started at
Guard and
60%.
federal law enforcement to restore law and order to our most dangerous cities, including Memphis, Tennessee, big success, New Orleans, Louisiana, big success, and our nation's capital itself, Washington, D.C., where we have almost no crime anymore in Washington, D.C. How did that happen? In fact, crime in Washington is now at the lowest level ever recorded, and murders in D.C. this January were down close to 100% from a year ago.
That's okay.
Is that mathematically possible?
Remember what he said about prescription drug prices have gone down so much. Apparently, they're paying us to take the
Totally.
prescription drugs.
1600%.
Right? You're like, oh,
I don't
we're
like
getting
the-
Novo
paid to take the
Nordisk
drugs.
is like, you want a
One of the
GLP-1? You want
one
Ozempic?
of
Here's
the-
$20.
Yeah.
Brave service
Said no,
members
whatever at the
who helped
Exactly.
achieve this
At the pharmacy,
victory
benefit manager.
right?
was
That's the
20-year-old
convention.
West Virginia Army National Guard specialist Sarah Beckstrom. After a 4-month deployment, she
At this point, though,
voluntarily
the only
extended
people
her
left watching
service,
the speech
and her
after an
rank
hour are the
was
diehards.
going
Us
to be-
he
and
oughta-
hardcore
He
partisans,
really ought to
right?
just
So
right.
well,
It's
they were so
people that are
proud.
hate watching and the people that are love watching.
But the very
I
next day,
don't
she was
know
on patrol.
if you're getting your swing
near the
voter.
White
By the
House
way, I
when
see
she
Jay
was
Vandervoort says
ambushed
Chris and Chunk are
shot
hunkered
in the
down and
head
safe
by
in
a
DC.
terrorist
Yeah,
sponsor
we're
in
good.
Afghanistan.
Not currently under
Shouldn't have been in
threat.
our country. And all because she
No,
wore the
though
uniform
we're on the
of our
Virginia side of the
nation. She was
border,
shot.
so we'll see.
He traveled here because he didn't like people wearing our uniform. He was sick and deranged, shouldn't have been in our country. Sarah Beckstrom died in order to defend our capital, and we are honored to be joined by her wonderful parents, Gary and Evalie.
This is where all the Trump
Your
opponents
daughter was
remind
a
people
true
about January
American
6th.
patriot, and she will be
And this
greatly
is
missed.
for
She
people
was a
who don't.
great
This is
person. I
well,
saw
C-SPAN
reports
is
on her
helpfully
that
Chiron
never
on this.
seen
This is
anything
the guy
like
who
it.
came and shot two National Guard folks outside of a metro stop.
Right.
Sarah passed away. The other National Guardsman lived. Michael Mendez says, "I'm lust watching this speech." I don't totally know
Really?
what that means, and
Lust
I'm not
watching.
gonna ask.
You're,
Probably
that's
best.
too much information.
We run a PG-13 shop around
You
here.
can ask in your own.
Yeah,
OnlyFans
that's
So
you
account.
can text
sorry.
me later.
Thank
Mike.
you very
That's on the
much.
OnlyFans account, right?
That's
A
the-
great
yeah,
young
that's the
lady. I
plus,
saw
plus,
reports
plus
of
account.
it. Perfect. She was perfect.
I wonder what the OnlyFans
Serving
union-
alongside
Oh,
Sarah
watch
that day was
that
Staff
happens.
Surging.
Sergeant Andrew
OnlyFans
Wolf.
used to surging.
The terrorist shot Andrew in the head, and no one thought he could possibly make it. The two of them, Sarah and Andrew, both shot violently in the head. Neither was expected to make it. They weren't even given a chance, except his wonderful mother, named Melody, who I spoke to the same night, and she was so positive. The doctors thought that Andrew was gone, but his mother said, "No, no, Mr. President, Andrew will be fine. He's going to make it. I've never seen anything like it. I mean,
the awkward
he
part
was
of this
given
is that there are a
almost
lot of
no
people think that
chance.
those National Guardsmen should have never have been
She
there.
said, "I have no doubt, sir, he's going to
That's
be
the,
okay." This
uncomfortable
was a
I have no doubt,
conversation
sir.
that I had with her that night.
Oh,
Everyone
The-
calls him
laying
sir.
helplessly in
the
bed,
second
blood
he
all
uses the
over.
word "sir"
It's a
is
lie.
how
Everybody
you
is
know it's
praying,
not
she
true.
said, "Sir."
Like
Big
whenever
guys,
he
tears in
quotes
their
with
eyes,
the
Chuck.
word "sir," yeah.
Didn't understand what
That
she
was
was
Daniel
saying.
Dale, my old colleague
And
at
after
CNN,
looking at the
first kind of
results of
noticed
the
that,
damage
and I
done,
always
neither
use it
did
when I go
I.
through those line
She was
speeches.
so
Because
strong
he
and
literally says
conclusive
it
that even
Always,
Andrews
it's always when
great
he's
always a
when
made
he's
up story.
completely
didn't
making
really
up a
understand
story.
the
The word
gravity of
"sir"
the situation.
is always how he's addressed.
But
And
she
the head of
turned out to
YouTube
be
came
right.
to Chuck and I
Right,
and said,
Melanie? She turned
"Sirs,
out to be
would you
right.
do this live stream
Listen,
for us?"
we are desperate to see if we can keep people from
Yes,
leaving the
correct.
room. What will you do?
Sam Feist, the head of C-SPAN, said to Chuck and I,
Sir?
"Sir," Sam's a big guy. He had tears in his eyes. He said, "Sir, will you do this for us?" And we said, "Yeah, we will." And then again, this is an amazing story. This guy really
This
being shot
is,
in the
and I'm
head.
sorry,
Like, we're
like,
not
this
trying
is
to downplay it.
Not at all. And he is. But this is what happens when you're a feedback loop that is too small. And the president's feedback loop is Truth
tiny,
Social.
right? I mean,
It's people making
Fox,
sure he
Fox,
only sees right, and he sees some
Newsmax.
stuff.
Amazing,
Right,
actually.
the only time he sees any
said,
time the
"Where
old
does this
legacy
woman
media is
come
his own
from? She's the most
television
positive
because they
person
keep
I've ever
bad
met."
press from him. He doesn't see
With
it.
God's help, Andrew has battled
By the
back
way, we're at
from
about
the
an
edge of
hour
death,
and 15 right now.
we're
He
talking
Still
went,
nowhere
about the
wrong.
edge
he went in
of death.
no foreign policy,
On
really,
his
right?
way
He
to
went
a
an hour and
miraculous
39
recovery. He's
last
got a
year.
little work to do, but he's doing great. Nice to see you. He's a good-looking guy. Nice to see you. Thanks, Andrew. Thank you very much.
The whole good-looking guy thing is so weird. I mean, I do think that, like,
What if he doesn't call you good looking?
I do
Because he
think-
calls pretty much everybody.
I know. What does it say about you?
Yeah.
It's interesting when you, like, a long time ago, I think I was at a Post back then. Phil Rucker, who's now at CNN, but was
Good
at
looking guy.
great looking guy.
Yeah.
He wrote this piece about central casting and how often
So,
Trump
Andrew,
uses
while
that
you're
phrase,
up,
and he does.
now
look at
I'm
these
going
things
to
with these-
ask
I mean, I'm convinced Rex
a
Tillerson
highly
was
respected General
because he looked
James
what
Stewart to
Donald Trump
present
thought a
Staff
Secretary of State
Sergeant
should look like.
Andrew Wolf,
You know,
and
big
the
guy,
great
gray
family
hair.
of
Like,
Sarah Beckstrom, with the award created by our late great President George Washington himself. It's called the Purple Heart.
These
FYI, this is the third award he has given live in this
Now-
speech.
interesting Purple Heart. Doesn't that have to be for?
Well, let's look it up. I don't know.
Heart
Like
for the
Valor
national-
in,
Purple Heart.
that's what he
As a
gave him.
domestic.
I thought it was international, but I don't know. It's fascinating. The like actual pinning on of the awards live.
Yeah, this is Jerry Lewis would be impressed.
Yeah.
I mean, the Jerry Lewis telethon, which I
JPGH
miss.
says this is super boring and low energy. He is literally reciting Newsmax headlines. I mean, if you watch a speech of Donald Trump's, that's
This
what he
is
does.
what it
Now,
is.
I will say
Well, that's the thing.
he's reading
A
more
lot
from
of
the prompter, so it is a
We're
little
proudly
less
restoring
animated.
safety for Americans at home, and we are also restoring security for Americans abroad. Our country has never been stronger. In my first 10 months, I ended 8 wars, including Cambodia. Isn't it funny? Sick people.
So that's someone, a
Cambodia
Democrat yelling
and
it to lie,
Thailand.
and Trump saying you're sick people.
Pakistan and India would have been a nuclear war. 35 million
Yeah,
people.
the Purple
said
Heart is a combat
the Prime Minister of
decoration.
Pakistan would have died if it were not for my involvement.
So there's
Kosovo
3
and
exceptions:
Serbia,
domestic terror attack.
So that's
Israel
what
and
he's-
Iran,
That's what he's
Egypt
gonna call
and
this.
Ethiopia,
Yeah.
Armenia and Azerbaijan.
Victims of the 2009 Fort
the
Hood shooting were
Congo
eventually
and
awarded.
Rwanda.
Congress changed the
and of
law
course, the
to
war
include
in
foreign-inspired
Gaza, which
domestic attacks.
proceeds at a very low level.
Anyway,
I
Mr.
guess that's
President.
how he.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
I mean, we're not.
Steve
Look, I'm not
Witkoff and
nitpicking,
Right.
but
Jared Kushner for your help.
this is
Thank
what I
you,
get paid to
Steve.
do. We
Thank
pick
you
at
I
very
know.
nits.
Right.
I'm going to pick at a nit on that one. I have some military friends that are going to think we're loosening these standards here, and certain things belong to the military in
Yep.
combat.
Yep. There's future,
We're giving
future
Jared
North
Kushner-
Carolina or Florida Senator Laura Trump there to Jared
And I
Kushner's
also
right.
want to thank the man they report to, Secretary of State Marco Rubio.
Little Marco.
Viceroy of Venezuela. He's the head of the National Archives, though. right?
He is?
They have not.
I thought they named an archivist.
Right, but is he still the head
I
of the
don't know.
archives?
I mean, he's definitely the national security advisor in the Secretary of State. Maybe he's also.
Yeah, wait, Kissinger did that.
People are like you. You know, Marco got 100% of the votes when he was in confirmation. I think our next one was about 54%. And some of the Democrats are now saying, I can't believe we approved that guy. And he said it's an honor that they feel that way.
Little Marco.
You have done a great job, great Secretary of State. I think he'll go down as the best ever.
Kissinger.
You were right. He stepped down a couple weeks ago, February 4th.
I only know because I read. It's not like I keep track of the National Archives all that often.
So who's in charge now of the archive?
Under the ceasefire I negotiated, every single hostage,
Rubio
both living
delegated
and
his
dead,
authority to James Byron,
has
who's
been
currently serving as senior
returned
advisor
home.
to
Can
the
you
archive.
believe
If
that?
you gave me 100 million guesses, I would not have named James Byron. By the way, Brian Dante, Mr. Science Theater 3000 for Politics. Thanks, you guys are great. That's what we're going for. Thank you
That
for
was the
thank you
vibe.
for sticking with us.
Yeah.
10:30 on a Tuesday night on the
Nobody
East
thought
Coast.
that was possible.
Traffic and weather
Both
together on the
living and
8th.
dead.
Oh
Those
yeah,
parents
we should do that. Nobody's thought of that
Who
slogan.
had a
That's
dead
right.
son, their boy, they'd always tell me their boy, they wanted him as much as though he were living. It was an amazing period of time. And they came back, and when we got all of the living hostages back, and many, many before them, but I always said those last 20 are going to be very tough, but we got many, many more, hundreds. But I said those last 20 are going to be tough. We got them back. But we only got back 14 or 15 of the dead of the 28. And believe it or not, Hamas worked along with Israel, and they dug and they dug and they dug. It's a tough thing to do, going through bodies all over, passing up 100 bodies sometimes for each one that they found.
So weird when he does the like
Tough
Soto
job.
Voce thing.
And they finally got it back to 27. And then Steve and Jared, they got it back to 28. They found all 28. Nobody thought that was possible, but we did it. And
Nobody thought that.
I remember
That's another one.
Did someone say
Nobody
like,
thought
they'll
that.
never find
No,
those
nobody
bodies?
thought it.
they were so
Nobody thought.
grieved, but they
Germans
were so
would bomb
happy
Pearl Harbor.
as it's possible to be. They had their boy back. The mother said, "Sir, we have our boy back." What a period of time that was, but we got them all back. So thank you both very much. Great job.
He didn't do that in this one, but he often in his speeches again because I
See,
read them.
this is
all.
one of the few you're going to get.
Yeah,
bipartisan support.
everyone will
Look,
cheer.
what he did. The fact is, Bibi is very hard to deal
Working
with,
very hard
and
to
Trump
end the night
bullies him
war.
better than
Yes,
other
he does.
American
Killing and
presidents.
slaughter
That's right.
between
Other
Russia
American
and
presidents
Ukraine,
have
where
let Bibi bully them.
25,000 soldiers
He-
are
he
dying
bullies
each and
Bibi a little
every
bit.
month. Think of that, 25,000 soldiers are dying a month. A war which would have never happened if I were president. Would have never happened. As president, I will make peace wherever I can, but I will never hesitate to confront threats to America wherever we must. That's why in a breakthrough operation last June, the United States military obliterated Iran's nuclear weapons program with an attack on Iranian
Okay,
soil.
so that's an
Yeah.
important point he just made.
Midnight
So if we've already obliterated the nuclear arsenal,
Why are we?
then what are we
I
doing
know.
now?
David Sanger
Is
wrote a
this
really good
regime
piece on
change?
this. I know David Sanger wrote a
Now,
really good piece. He
or
has
we
not-
didn't obliterate.
Trump has not said what we are actually
He
doing.
is yet to say it. This is
For decades,
Because
it
it's
has
either
been
it was
the policy
obliterated,
of
we
the
don't
United
need that.
States never to allow Iran to obtain a nuclear weapon. Many decades. Since they seized control of that proud nation 47 years ago, the regime and its murderous proxies have spread nothing but terrorism and death and hate. They've killed and maimed thousands of American service members and hundreds of thousands and even millions of people.
Why does he have to exaggerate?
With what's called
Not
roadside
millions,
bombs.
but
They
it's
were
terrible.
the
They've been a
kings
terrible
of the
regime, but
Right.
roadside
again,
bomb.
the exaggeration.
And we took out Soleimani. I did that during my first term. Had a huge
Yeah.
impact.
He
was
feels
the
fearless
father
now.
of the
Everybody
roadside
told him
bomb.
money will be a risk. You shouldn't do it.
Or Maduro,
Right.
Venezuela
Maduro.
will be a
So
problem. Iran will
He
be
is
a problem.
more likely to try something than not
Totally.
right now because his feeling is out.
It's the
And
place
just
that he's
over the
been most
last couple
successful.
of months with the protests, they've killed at least, it looks like 32,000 protests. 32,000
And again,
protests.
We're not going to quibble, but that number, which he uses all the time, is very
shot him
hard
and
to
We don't know.
prove.
hung
In
them.
fairness, that's something we won't know
stopped
until
them
after the
from
fact.
hanging a lot of them with the threat of serious violence. But this is some terrible people. They've already developed missiles that can threaten Europe and our bases overseas, and they're working to build missiles that will soon reach the United States.
Wow, this is some
After
real
Midnight Hammer,
interesting rationale.
They were warned to make no future attempts to rebuild their weapons.
We are now going to
program,
ballistic
in
missiles,
particular,
not nuclears.
nuclear weapons. Yet they continue starting it all over. We wiped it out, and they want to start all over again. And are at this moment again pursuing their sinister ambitions. We are in negotiations with them. They want to make a deal, but we haven't heard those secret words. We will never have a nuclear weapon. My preference.
Again, just to reiterate the point you made, he was obsessed last year with the CNN report that came out that said he might not have destroyed everything. Right. He says in every speech, we totally obliterated their nuclear capacity. So why are we building up?
What are we negotiating?
6 months later?
Is to solve this problem through diplomacy. But one thing is certain, I will never allow the world's #1 sponsor of terror, which they are by far, to have a nuclear weapon. Can't let that happen.
It's interesting, the ballistic missile stack, that was a whole nother, there are weapons of mass destruction level of trying to create a rationale to go to.
Totally. They can reach America with these weapons.
Right. Well, no. Right now they can reach Europe.
And no
They aspire to reach America.
And that's why we have to go.
We have the most powerful.
Okay.
Military
Good luck selling that.
I rebuilt the military in my first term. We're going to continue to do so. Also, we just approved a $1 trillion budget. We have no choice. We have to be strong because hopefully we will seldom have to use this great power that we built together. It's really called peace through strength, and it's been very, very effective.
Is this one of those reasons? Let me tell you about peace through strength. They didn't talk about that until I came on.
No one said the words peace through strength. You know what's interesting is, like, I don't know if it's the foreign policy section, but he is definitely more low key.
Dude, it's 10:30 and he's 79 years old.
Dollars have no choice in the United States Armed Forces. Also creating a lot of jobs, but we're not even doing it for that reason. Because as I said, we have more jobs, more people working today than ever before in the history of our country. And NATO countries are friends and allies. They are. They're our friends and they're our allies. Have just agreed at my very strong request to pay 5% of GDP for military defense rather than the 2%, which they weren't paying. We were paying for almost all of NATO. Now they're paying 5 as opposed to not paying 3.
I mean, some of the stuff he is not wrong. We talk about this all the time. His willingness to bully allies and enemies doesn't have no positive.
It has short-term success. It's the long-term problems that it creates.
What was I see? Kenny Shin says Lindsay's face says it all. I was trying to figure out how to analyze that Lindsay face.
Now 5%, then they're paid, and everything we send over to Ukraine is sent through NATO, and they pay us in full. They pay us totally in full. Every branch of our armed forces is setting records for recruitment. This is so exciting. And every service member recently.
He says that all the time. I've struggled that, like everyone, the branches are studying, all the military branches are staying record with me. I've struggled to find
recently received
like,
a warrior
data on it
because there's no data that's been released.
$1,776.
Listen, Chuck, which is more painful, listening to a speech or watching the 2020?
Hey, man, that's your undefeated Washington Nationals through 4 days of games because we had a split squad
unstoppable.
Sweep. So
undefeated this year.
Yeah, man, we don't lose.
Money, and it was $1,775, and they wanted my approval. And I said, "What's the number?" $1,775. I said, "Wait a minute, for one more."
Now we're going to make up an anecdote.
He came up with the idea of giving
that. We're going to figure that. I never asked anybody.
No one thought of that.
One more dollar. I said $1,776.
Look at Mike Johnson. He's like,
said,
yeah,
that's good. And I'll tell you what, our military. That was 4 months ago. Our military. I never see a person in the military that doesn't thank me for it. So we're honored to do it. They deserve it. And we call it 1776. It was great. And we love our military. We love our law enforcement. We love our firemen. You know, the firemen don't get mentioned enough. We love our firemen. We're also...
Not enough people are talking about the firemen, Chuck. The simple firemen.
Now tomorrow, more people are talking about firemen.
Have you noticed?
Have you
people are
noticed
talking
how many people are talking about the firemen?
I was hoping we might get people are saying Merry Christmas again. That's my
We're also
favorite of his
restoring
things.
American security and dominance in the Western Hemisphere, acting to secure our national interests and defend our country from violence, drugs, terrorism, and foreign interference for years. Large swaths of territory in our region, including large parts of Mexico, really large parts of Mexico, have been controlled by murderous drug cartels. That's why I designated these cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, and I declared illicit fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction.
The standing ovations are growing more muted. It's like, all right, here we go.
Well, they're like, it's 20 till 11.
Oh, my back is hurting.
Yeah.
And with our new military
The second
campaign,
half
we
of
have
the
stopped
speech has
record
been
amounts of
very
drugs coming
kind of
into
like
our country and
monotone.
virtually stopped it
He's only,
completely
what's so
coming
interesting
in by
about your
water
point
or
about how
sea.
he has no
Probably
interest
noticed
really
that.
in uniting the country. You can totally tell when he
Very
gets
seriously
fired up. It's
damaged
when he's like
their fishing
attacking
industry.
Democrats.
He's
It's what
excited about
because
that.
it's what he
Nobody
actually
wants
feels.
to go fishing anymore. We've also taken down one of the most sinister cartel kingpins of all. You saw that yesterday.
Ooh, interesting.
In January.
He's taking credit. I thought it was the Mexican government.
Nope.
You know, you just screwed up the goddamn relationship,
Well, and
Mr.
again,
President. It is important that the Mexican people believe it's the Mexican government
Not
doing
us.
this.
January,
It cannot
elite
look
American
like the
warriors carried out
Americans
one of the
did
most
this. Oh
complex,
my
spectacular
God.
feats of
Long
military
He
competence
absolutely
and
tells you
this
power
is
everything.
this is
in
the
world history. No one's seen
it's
anything like it.
extraordinarily
Foreign leaders, I won't
important.
tell you who called me, and they said,
God, he
"Very
does not.
impressive,
I mean,
very
even when something goes well, he finds a way to
They
leak it.
couldn't
And
believe
Well,
it.
but
spread
he
it out.
always wants
They
credit.
saw what happened.
I mean, that,
Right,
you know,
that's
I
the
mean,
problem.
He's just
The
incapable
But this
of
is literally
even
cannot be
strategically.
seen as an
When we
American
fought to
operation.
tie-
This is a disaster that he
It's a
did.
great
this.
fighting force. I'm so proud of it. Look at Space Force. Space Force is my baby. Because we did that. My baby is becoming so
You
important.
watched the show on Netflix? The Steve Carell?
No.
It's
Is
good.
it
It's not
funny?
bad. It's okay.
I love
Could have been
Space
better.
Force.
It's good, not great. By the way, we did need a space force. Like, this was something that
Right,
was
it's
in
not
the
wrong.
works. Like, this is a good
Yeah.
thing to have. Because the next war, you can actually, I did a Meet the Press reports on this. I think it lives on YouTube. The next war is
And
going to
America's
start.
armed forces overwhelmed. All defenses are
it's
not only
our
defeated
wars.
an enemy, good fighters.
Some might call it that.
It's
to end
getting
the
late. I'm getting
reign of
slightly
outlaw
punchy. I'm sorry.
dictator Nicolas Maduro and bring him to face American justice.
Come on, camera guy. That's a New York Times camera guy getting in the way of our Elizabeth Warren shot.
And this was an absolutely colossal victory for the security of the United States.
We are now
and it
at
also opens
90
up a
minutes.
bright new beginning
91
for the
minutes.
people of Venezuela. We're working closely with the new president of Venezuela, Delcy Rodriguez, to unleash extraordinary economic gains
Wow.
for both of our countries and to bring
Oh
new
my
hope
God.
to those
Just
who have
about
suffered
the oil.
So terribly. They really did. suffer.
Unbelievable.
With us
This is
tonight
the most
is
brutal regime in the history of
Alejandro
Venezuela.
Gonzalez. She grew up
She was,
And we're
Maduro's
tight-knit
celebrating
Venezuelan
this
family and was
person who's
especially close to her
who was
beloved
illegally elected
uncle
office.
Enrique. But after Enrique ran for office and opposed Maduro, he was kidnapped by Maduro's security forces and thrown into the regime's really infamous
Yeah,
prison. in
Maduro's
Caracas.
regime is also Delcy Rodriguez.
Of course.
Alejandro
we
feared
doing
she
here,
would
dude?
never see her uncle again. She feared for her own life also. But since the raid, we have worked with the new leadership, and they have ordered the closure of that vile prison and released hundreds of political prisoners already, with more to come.
Where are the elections,
Alejandro, I'm
Mr.
pleased
President?
to
Where's
inform
the democracy,
you that
Right.
Mr.
not only
President?
has your uncle
This is
been
what
released,
Venezuelans care about. And this is
but
this
he
is a
here
country
tonight. We brought him
that
over to
people
celebrate
are
his
alive and
freedom
remember
with you in
democracy. It's not
person.
like you're trying to
Enrique,
install a
please
democracy
come down.
on a country that hasn't had it in 100 years.
Well, there's people leaving. I feel that. I feel that, members of Congress.
Yeah. Oh, the babysitter. The
No,
dog sitter,
think
so
of the
they're big.
babysitters.
You can't afford it. It is the praise he's giving this Kelsey
It's
Rodriguez.
remarkable. And by the way,
I mean,
when she
literally,
didn't agree with him,
by the way, had a Democratic president, he'd be calling them communist lover and a
Yeah.
communist sympathizer. Essentially, the president is sympathizing with the socialist dictator, the vice president
I
of
know.
a socialist
Have a good
dictator.
time. Nice to have you back, Enrique. There were many heroes on that January raid to capture Maduro, really great heroes. It was very dangerous. They knew we were coming. They were all set. But the deeds of one warrior that
Or the
night will
paranoia
live
about
forever
what
in
they're,
the eternal
what they're trying
chronicles
to
of
do with Maduro at the
military
moment. It's fascinating
valor.
when you, the
Chief
conspiracy
Warrant
theories
Officer
about
5,
2020 and Maduro.
Eric Slover,
Venezuelans
planned the mission and was the flight lead in the cockpit of the first helicopter, a big, beautiful, powerful helicopter. It was a massive Chinook carrying, as you can imagine, many, many American warfighters. Wearing the dog tags, his wife Amy had blessed with holy water before he left. She knew
We're doing
it was
another
gonna
medal
be-
He's going to
ceremony.
give another medal.
another
of
medal
some
ceremony.
sort, I would assume, because this
An
is the
award
guy
of valor.
who's, yeah.
and
That's what it
descended
is, valor of
swiftly
some
upon
sort.
Maduro's heavily protected military
For a guy who
fortress.
never
This was a
served and
major
who dodged
He
the draft.
loves
He
handing
loves
out
to
medals.
play.
Yes,
He loves
protected
playing
by thousands of
Absolutely.
soldiers and guarded by
quite
Russian
interesting.
and
This
Chinese
is full-
military technology. How did that work out? Not too
I
good.
think he's. What's the last time he did a pull-up?
While preparing to land, enemy machine guns fired from
I
every
say
angle,
way
and
before.
Eric was hit very
Easily
badly in the
late
leg
60s.
and hip.
I'd
One
say he hasn't done a
bullet
pull-up
after
since
another.
the high school.
He absorbed
since-
4 agonizing shots.
the military.
He
shredding
was the
his
pull-up
leg
king
into
of New York. Everyone knows
numerous
that.
pieces.
Many people are saying
Many
that.
And
people are
yet,
saying.
despite the fact that the use of his legs was vital to successful helicopter flight, legs are the most important part of flying a helicopter, to deliver the many commandos who would capture and detain Maduro was the only thing Eric was thinking about. Then, even as he was gushing blood, which was flowing back down the aisle, helicopter lands at a steep angle. The machine gun stood right in front of him. They were right in front of him, 2 machine gunners who escaped the wrath of the previous planes. Eric maneuvered his helicopter with all of those lives and souls to face the enemy and let his gunners eliminate the threat. Turned the helicopter around so the gunners could take care of business, saving the lives of his fellow warriors from what could have been a catastrophic crash deep in enemy territory.
Yeah, this
Only
speech.
after
If
safely
I mean, it's
landing
it's not even
really
rallying the MAGA troops
tailing
at this
off.
point,
My
man.
in the
gosh.
exact
It
right
is.
spot, which was
I mean, this
vital to the
telling, this is like an
mission.
8-minute
Probably would have
retelling.
Maybe cancel the mission if that didn't
Of a
happen.
story that really has a
Eric told his co-pilot, also wounded, but not as gravely, to take over. I'm about ready to pass out. The success of the entire mission and the lives of his fellow warriors hinge on Eric's ability to
trying
take
hard to be a good storyteller. He's not the
searing
best.
pain.
No.
It was unbelievable what's happened to his legs. Of the bullets, and keep on flying and landing, and people knew what was happening. Everybody in the back of the helicopter knew because they saw the blood pouring down the aisle. Chief Warrant Officer Slover is still recovering from his serious wounds, but I'm thrilled to say that he is here tonight with his wife Amy, Eric, and Amy. Come on in.
Come on down.
Ron
Welcome
Rodney.
to the show.
Ron Rodney.
I mean, my
hey, join
gosh.
us. Let's put
Join
the
us.
seat here.
You know, you feel like you need the Merv Griffin music, right? Da, 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 da,
Remember
da, da, da. One of the most brilliant episodes. Brilliant episodes.
Hey, Jerry Seinfeld. Come
You
on.
can't have 2 animal acts at the same time. Yeah, come on. We're all punched up here. But, I'm not apologizing. For being a little,
I mean, come on down. By the way,
nobody reflects glory like this president.
I had an interesting conversation with someone who had gotten on the Price is Right like 3 times as a contestant, and they were like, the key is you have to come with a big beard,
Yeah.
you got to wear a coordinated shirt,
Yeah.
and you got to be loud in the line.
Okay.
I was like, I could do that.
So we have a surprise.
Oh, there's a surprise, Chuck. What's it going to be?
Eric and Amy.
Medal.
In recognition of Eric's actions above and beyond
I already
the
got
call
it.
of duty,
That's a Medal of Honor.
I would now like to ask General Jonathan Braga to present Chief Warrant Officer Slover with our nation's highest military award, the Congressional Medal of
Good
Honor.
eye.
Whoa. Congressional Medal of Honor. That is not the same. That process doesn't work that fast.
Yeah. Is there a vote?
I think he misspoke. There is no Congressional Medal of Honor that he can get. Okay, I'm looking this up. Yeah, a Medal of Honor, but this is. First of all, if you called it a Congressional Medal of Honor, it's not a Congressional Medal
No,
of Honor.
I don't think
But
that's right.
no,
Plus,
that's
he's
the Medal of Honor.
president.
But
I
this
would assume
usually
it's-
takes years to go through a vetting process and all this stuff. Look, I know they process schmocess.
I know.
I need it for political propaganda
I know.
purposes.
We're doing it.
By February
I know.
24th.
I know.
Get it done. Get him a Medal of Honor. Let's do it first. Nobody's ever
4
done this
medal
before.
ceremonies.
I mean, what an honor for him.
Yes,
And this is
and
the
he's
most
clearly a brave
prestigious
guy.
award.
I mean-
This is unbelievable. It kind of,
Well,
like
thank
everything,
you very
Trump has
much,
to sort
Eric
of,
and Amy.
he dilutes this. This is
Great
the
to get
single
to know
most
you.
important
I
thing
met
you
with
can
them
give
and with a lot
to
of
a
their
member of our
fellow
military.
warriors at Fort Bragg recently.
And to
You
sort
know,
of
is name
usurp
Fort
the
Bragg?
moment.
We have it back.
At
We brought it back.
10:50
We won the
p.m.
First
Yeah,
World War.
I mean,
We
it's
won the
just-
Second
I mean, it
World
counts
War.
all about
either
him.
way,
They
but-
decided to
Right.
change the
This
name.
is-
So we
I mean,
changed it back.
It's great for the, and I don't want to
Everybody
take it away
wanted
from
to change
him,
back
the medal,
to-
and that's the thing. In some
And
ways,
No,
then
that's
by
the
doing
thing.
it during the State
It's
of the
like the-
Union,
it's like the-
he's
the-
diminished all of
Incredible
these
night.
It's like the
medals.
hockey
We'll also
thing.
be
I'm not
These
just
are
want to take
incredible
anything away from the
ceremony
guy.
Right.
that will soon
These
be
are
held at the
incredible
White House.
honors
And
for these people,
Eric,
but
But
they're
they're
like,
being used.
but they're
as-
being used in this way rather than giving their own ceremony, their own thing.
Yep.
But this is, it's Donald Trump's world. They just
And the
let people live
reflected
in it.
glory. I think goes into it.
Reflected glory. I mean, this is amazing for him, but it's also, it might have been an illegal
Thank you,
operation,
Eric.
according to our
It's a big one.
Constitution, by the way.
Tonight we've celebrated many truly extraordinary American patriots, but there is one last living legend to honor before we go. He is one more heroic American aviator, Navy fighter pilot. Royce Williams served in World War II, Korea, Vietnam, flying more than 220 missions. In the skies over Korea in 1952, Royce was in the dogfight of
I'm a
lifetime.
sucker for this stuff.
Legendary.
I
Me
love
too.
this stuff. I love honoring
Flying
these
through
guys.
blizzard conditions, his squadron
and
was
so
ambushed by
it's
7
just-
Soviet fighter planes.
It
It was his first
It's
aerial
a little
attack
bit
in
of
the war,
be
despite
cynical.
being
Right. Well,
massively outnumbered and
in
outgunned.
some ways,
Royce led
His
to
whole
take down
speech
the
has been
4
this.
enemy
Yeah.
jets.
Like the
and
speech is going to be known
almost
as the
destroyed the
Jerry
others.
Lewis telethon
Thank
speech, right?
you.
He's just
come on out.
awards, come on down. It's like Merv
260
Griffin
Yep,
meets a
it
State of the
is.
Union.
Yep.
to his own
And I say
plane,
Merv Griffin
being
because that's what he would
seriously
call
hurt.
it.
Oh, 100%.
If
That's
he
what
were
his
the
references
commentator,
are.
right?
Yes,
Like
of
his
course.
references
He
are all
didn't even-
somewhere
You know,
between
Frank Sinatra
right,
once.
1967 and,
Yes.
and 1982.
But tonight, at 100 years old, this brave Navy captain is finally getting the recognition he
Another
deserves.
medal. What are we giving
He
him?
was a legend long before this evening. Royce, please stand up, and I will ask the First Lady of the United States to present Captain Royce Williams with his Congressional Medal of Honor.
Congressional Medal of Honor.
Maybe that's it.
This is not a Congressional Medal of Honor. I'm very confused.
Again, incredible honor. A little weird that Melania Trump is giving it to him, but
Now, there's a Congressional Gold Medal. You give the Medal of Honor in the name of Congress. It's presented by the President in the name of Congress.
I like these people are saying it's like Oprah. You get a medal. You get a medal. Look
There's a
under
little
your
Oprah
seat.
Winfrey
There's a
in
medal under your seat.
Yeah. But it's just, again, I go back to, look, the Medal of Honor Museum,
Where is it?
It's in Arlington, Texas, next to AT&T Stadium.
Yeah. I have to go there.
Jerry Jones and the Jerry Jones family. Carla Jones, I was at a fundraiser where she was throwing it here in DC. The Medal of Honor Museum is awesome. And in fact, I have you are in my lair. As you know, I'm a sports
Secret
card
lair.
collector, but I have this one notebook of American history cards. And from 2009 to one of the insert sets is an entire Medal of Honor insert set.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's a
Like
wonderful
everyone's
way to
got
learn
one.
about American
Totally.
heroes.
Absolutely.
And it's just like, this is like an A+ idea from Todd. We just continued it for 1 year.
Come on, Tops.
Come on, Tops. But the point is that these are, again, I don't want to take away from this honor for these gentlemen. Like, this really is, Donald Trump has usurped the moment away from all these people. And yet, what do you mean? You're criticizing giving medals of honor?
How can you not clap for
dare
this
you?
100-year-old man?
And it's like, this is what Trump does. Right? He co-opts this stuff, and he almost dares you to criticize. When you look like you're criticizing the recipient, you're not
it's the
criticizing the
weaponizing of
recipient.
patriotism.
It's just sort of gross how he has inserted himself. And look, we're all tired of criticizing the
I've always
showmanship of
wanted
Trump.
the
It's
Congressional
old, but
Medal of Honor, but I was informed I'm not allowed to give it to myself, and I wouldn't know why I'd be taking it, but
I've always wanted the
if they ever
Congressional.
open up that
and was
law, I
informed
will
I'm
be
not
there
allowed to
with
give it to
you
myself.
someday.
Well, yes. Also, you never served in the military.
But you know, that's our highest
They
honor.
don't give
They
medals
don't
of
give
honor
it
for
for-
bone spur survival.
Chuck and I are
Honored
not
to be
eligible
in the
either
same
for
room with
the
you.
Medal of Honor.
Thank you both very much, Eric. Thank you.
Boy, I tell you, I
Again,
survived.
he just tells on himself
He
over
does.
and over
I mean,
and over again.
Look, this is why why the best way to interview Trump is to give him rope, not to try to correct him, because you like the TV show Kids Say the Darndest Things?
Yeah.
Trump will say the darndest things
He will tell you what he is thinking and what he
Thank
wants.
you.
if you go long enough.
Yeah.
250 years is a long time in the life of a nation, but in another sense, it's really a mere moment
an
in the eye
empty
of
speech.
history.
This is the end.
This became
Two
a
of the
this
gentlemen
became
we
a
met
MAGA
in the
anti-calorie.
gallery this evening took their first breaths 1 century ago, 100 years before that, on July 4th, 1826, the author of the Declaration of Independence, brilliant, Thomas Jefferson, drew his last breath. Just a single long human lifespan separates the giants who declared and won our independence from the heroes who stand among us tonight. Everything our nation has done, everything we have achieved, has been the work of those few great lifetimes. In those brief chapters, Americans built this nation from 13 humble colonies into the pinnacle of human civilization and human freedom, the strongest, wealthiest, most powerful, most successful nation in all of history. Americans ventured out across the daunting
Romans
and
thought at one point,
dangerous
too.
continent. We carved past
Not whether we're
through
number one,
an
it's whether we can stay number
unforgiving
one.
Thomas
wilderness,
Jefferson, come on out. We're going to give you a medal.
boundless frontier and tamed the beautiful but very, very
Let's go to a remote
dangerous
at the Jefferson
wild
Memorial where
west.
we're going to put a medal on the statue.
From empty marshes and wide open plains, we raised up the world's greatest cities. Together, we mastered the world's mightiest industries and shattered history's monstrous tyrannies.
He's determined to get to 11 o'clock.
We liberated millions from the chains.
is already
of
the longest State of the
fascism,
Union ever.
communism, oppression, and terror.
Okay.
I know.
Americans lifted humanity into the sky.
History has been made, Chuck. Get the longest Medal of Honor, longest history speech.
First
Get
ever
the
Medal
medal.
of Honors. Two of them, not one.
Powered by sheer American will and unyielding American pride. We wired the globe with our ingenuity. We captivated the planet with American culture. And now we are pioneering the next great American breakthroughs that will change the entire world. All of this and so much more is the enduring legacy, unmatched glory of the hardworking patriots who built and defended this country and who still carry the hopes and freedoms on all of humanity's backs. For years they were forgotten, betrayed, and cast aside. But that great betrayal is over, and they will never be forgotten again. Because when the world needs courage, daring, vision, and inspiration, it is still turning to America. And when God needs a nation to work his miracles, he knows exactly who to ask. There is no challenge Americans cannot overcome, no frontier too vast for us to conquer. No dream too bold for us to chase, no horizon too distant
This is
for
where
us to
Stephen
claim.
Miller gets a
For
little
our
too sort of-
destiny
Well,
is
he's
written
just
grade
not
school
good at
Florida.
delivering the
Right.
big.
It's a little,
visions.
it's a
First
little sort of paint by
250
numbers.
It's just
years
flourish.
were
reading
just
it.
the
Yeah, and
beginning.
then he doesn't deliver it.
From the rugged border towns of Texas to the heartland
The
villages of
rugged
Michigan.
border towns of Texas
From
to
the
the
sun-kissed
he's
heartland.
shores
totally
of
reading
Florida
it
to
at
the
this point.
endless fields
Well, it's
of
the second time he's read it.
and
You
from
think
the
the second?
historic
I was going to say
streets
maybe
of
the first.
Philadelphia,
Think he read it
like to
once
think he
before.
on our
read it.
nation's capital,
You could always tell,
Washington,
especially when he
D.C.,
laughs at his
the
own.
golden
That's a good
age
line.
of America.
After
is
you
Oh, yeah.
kill like
Oh,
this.
that's interesting.
The revolution that began in 1776 has not ended. It still continues because the flame of liberty and independence still burns in the heart of every American patriot. And our future will be bigger, better, brighter, bolder, and more glorious than ever before. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless.
Wait, look at this. He's
We have
landing
10
it. He's
10:59.
landing it right at 11 o'clock, a little bit early.
So
He'll get out.
hour and
So he wants, in
48,
his brain,
49.
he thinks leading into the late local news is a good idea.
Hour and 48.
At this
49
point,
minutes.
people are binging something on Netflix.
So, all right. So he's gonna C-SPAN's gonna stay on this, and he's gonna shake everybody's hand. He's gonna go out, and then they're gonna go to Abigail Spanberger. We will
we're
cover
gonna
that.
stick with,
and
we're
we'll
gonna stick
stay
you
with it.
there, and then we'll go out.
I mean, tonally pretty underwhelming.
I was just gonna say, it just look, it's a base speech. It is a speech that pleases the president. Like it
but
almost
the
feels
second
like.
half was like. I mean, even for the base, the second half's not.
But what's his biggest problem? It's with the middle of the electorate, it's with independence, and he's in denial about the issues that they care the most about. Hey, don't pay no attention. This account, don't worry about it. It's gonna be great. It already is great. You just don't realize it yet. You're like, okay. I don't think this helped. Look, here's what's brilliant about it. If you're in his shoes, congressional Republicans are going to hear nothing but positive feedback from their political base. And they're going to be like, oh, okay.
Oh, it was okay.
It was okay.
Yeah.
And then they're going to look, their pollsters are going to come in and it's like, hey, how did the president get him? The numbers are down?
Yeah.
Or the numbers are flat?
Or they're flat.
It didn't
I would
help?
guess flat. I just can't see it. You're
And
who watched 10 minutes, 15 minutes of speech. I can't
now,
imagine you're
he actually has a little bit, he is a little bit of a problem with the base because of Epstein. The one thing I mentioned to you.
Yep.
And I'm not sure this rationale to bomb Iran based on ballistic missiles that may someday hit the United States is going to play well with the isolationist wing of his base.
Right. Well, the whole America First thing vis-a-vis Iran, I don't know how you justify, but
well, Iran was a.
I just, to me, like he's never a guy who's the only time that he was really animated in the speech was when he was attacking
the Democrats.
Yeah. Right. Let's see. Janald Neck says, have you seen the recent Olympic hockey finals? What do you make about the controversy about Eileen Gu and the death threat she's getting as part of the current wave of political violence in America? Yeah, so Eileen Gu is
American and Chinese American, right?
That's right. And she competes for China now. I don't know. I wish that not everything had to be political and politically coded, but that's where we are. Thank you for supporting independent journalism.
I like eavesdropping.
That's Troy Niels from Texas.
No, he's wearing the Trump tie. And he got him to sign the Trump tie. Yeah. Nancy Mace desperate to use that.
Nancy Mace, here's me shaking the president's hand. Vote for me for governor.
There's Tim Burchett. I can recognize that Tennessee
love that
twang
voice.
anywhere.
There he is.
Come on, Timmy. Get in there with the president.
His barn jacket on. I love that barn jacket that Tim Burchett wears.
Like Carhartt?
Yeah, I love him. He's just like,
Great job, Mr. President. Thanks for your leadership. Mr. President, well done. God bless you. God bless you, sir. Thank you so much.
He's moving through his crowd faster than I expected.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, everybody. Great job.
Greg Stubbe, by the way, he just shook his hands with them. Only member of Congress that hit a home run out of the park in the congressional baseball
of course,
game.
he just remembered that. Yeah.
Really, the best ever? That's a nice coming from you. That's a big statement.
It's also the
There he
longest.
is. Great job of telling.
Also the longest president.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Thank you.
Somebody reminding him it's
Yes.
the longest speech. You gotta
Great
love that.
speech, also very long.
Very long, very long.
He
How's your
didn't-
bladder,
he
Mr.
didn't acknowledge
President?
that coming from you. That's saying something.
That's saying something. How's your bladder, Mr. President? Okay, once you cross the threshold, now you get the countdown. So here's what happens in network television.
Yeah.
They all go to commercial. We're all going to sit here
Yeah.
for 3 minutes chit-chatting
Yeah.
while we wait for the
Man, we
Abigail
could do
Spanberger
commercials
setup.
if you want to sponsor it.
Now,
But,
we're right here. Here's my man, member for 2 months of the Diamond Club,
Yep.
of the Cillizza Diamond
The
Club.
chair declares
Why
the
are
joint
Republicans
session of the
not
two
passing
houses
more
now
reconciliation
dissolved.
bills? I think they're able to pass 2 more. They're giving away their most
Well, they
powerful
can do
tool.
one
They
more,
can
and
do one more.
They can do one more. They've already done one. I don't know why they're not doing it. I think they're making a huge mistake. And what's interesting now with the tariff ruling, like the president ruled it out because he's done with Congress,
Mhm.
right? He's just
Yes.
he doesn't want to
Yep.
because ultimately Johnson can't get votes. Scalise can't get votes.
No, and it's too narrow
Trump
a
is the
majority,
speaker,
and there's no one who can.
and
like,
it's too hard
yeah.
to get done. So they don't want to have to do the he doesn't want to do the heavy lifting. I think I think the guys on the ballot in 26 are going to wish they had something to run on, and I think they could use a reconciliation bill.
I know.
And I thought it was
think
interesting
he's
when he-
banking on the one big beautiful bill and no tax.
I
Some
know
of
he
those
is.
things being implemented that they can
But
run.
now
on.
with the tariff issue, I mean,
But-
you know, look, reconciliation was the only way to jam through the tariff
I know.
authority if he wanted to get it. You know, ultimately, he blew it in his first 100 days because in his first 100 days, he had a very compliant majority
Yeah, and he went
in
with
Congress.
and he
And
didn't
he
do
could have
anything.
gotten real authority on tariffs to
Liberation
give him
Day
negotiating power.
instead.
And he instead tried to do it. He tried a shortcut.
Yep.
And when you try a shortcut, you end up paying a price.
Well,
in the
he
long
doesn't
run.
want to do the Congress part because even though it's
Work.
controlled by Republicans, there's too much heavy lifting,
It's work.
right?
It's hard work.
And so for folks who are wondering or asking, yes, we are staying with this. So there is, as Chuck said, networks largely will go to break here. When they come back, Abigail Spanberger will start talking, the Virginia governor, giving the response. That will be much shorter of a speech. That will not be an hour and 48
Under
minutes
10.
long.
Yeah.
10-ish
It'll be
minutes.
under 10.
Let me just knock this out. Matthias Ryan. Hey,
We're going
guys.
to do nothing but questions. Let's go.
Hey
Boom.
guys, quick question. If Dems win the midterms and move to impeach Trump, should they first secure Senate support before the House drafts articles? Smarter strategy. Well, I don't know that they would be able to see. I mean, that's
it's
under the
interesting.
theory that they
I
could
just had
secure
George
Senate
Conway
vote.
on the podcast
Yeah.
over the weekend.
Yeah.
It's go check it out. It's posted on YouTube.
That's
right
a good
now.
conversation. George
Um,
Conway running for Congress.
He is
in
running
Manhattan.
on this issue. He's saying if he wins, he is going to introduce an article, and he believes that you've got to have a trial with witnesses. I think that's what those look. We had this. I moderated this panel at this principal first conference of the weekend, and the issue of impeachment came up. And the question is, if you go for it again and fail, do you essentially eliminate impeachment from ever being a usable tool again?
Is it gone forever
At the
as
same
anything
time,
but a political lever?
if you don't attempt to show accountability on look, to me, the pardon issue is a big one and the self-dealing is a big one, right? Like those are the two big ones. Like, the close calls, to me, the close calls are Maduro and Iran. I say close calls because that's a policy argument about the branches of government. It's the self-dealing stuff, right? So it's the deal and the
it's the
pardons.
plane, it's the crypto,
It's the personal accumulation of wealth that is the most egregious part of this. And this is where you're torn. You feel as if there should be accountability for this. You need to go on the record saying this is wrong. At the same time, you're not going to get them out of office.
But they're co-equal branches, and there needs to be a level of oversight. And yet,
so I think this is where your true sort of congressional institutionalists and your constitutionalists
say we need to
like
do
saying,
it. The Jamie Raskins
this
of
is
the world.
and your Michael Luddicks and your like George Wills and that world, because this is. I love this. Can you review the policies he announced? Well,
I actually think that's that's Scott Cheminsky. Thank you for supporting independent journalism. But I will say this: but I would say usually the State of the Union, the traditional State of the Union, is like a laundry list of we're going to do this and we're going to do. This was not that.
It is more of a defense of what he's done. Look, the newest thing that he threw out there is was the power. The
AI
data
stuff.
center.
Yes,
that he's going to. Now they had sort of teased that
he had been talking a little bit about it, but not in a policy way.
And that is frankly one of as an issue that is spend 10 minutes on that issue and you'd have
Yeah,
some
I wrote down. Hold on.
elected officials happy about that.
Yeah,
That
I
was
wrote
the
down
most-
stuff that I thought
Everything
was
else
new.
is stuff that he's already announced, right?
Yeah,
Trump RX.
ratepayer protection. I wrote down. The only other thing is, and this is not a policy, but
Yeah.
JD Vance is going to lead the
Oh,
war on fraud against
okay.
these.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. That's not a policy,
right. Does it also apply to crypto
Right.
companies?
Right.
Yeah, or is it
Right.
only apply to Somali Americans who have started
What
small
about $400
businesses?
million planes
Yeah.
from Qatar?
Is that a part of it, or is that no? Is that off limits?
Michael Oates, thank you for supporting independent journalism. Okay, so we talked about this. Oh, here's another one. Fourth division. Was Trump's most concrete proposal really to end taxpayer subsidies for data
Yeah,
centers? An
the-
early shot by Republicans from AI midterm policy.
It's sort of that,
Sort
but
of,
I don't think he
yes.
said he's ending subsidies. It was sort of he's going to get them to.
Good evening.
Oh, here's Spanberger.
Good
Ooh,
evening
a
and
live
welcome
audience.
to historic Williamsburg.
It's always wondering what
We
do they
are
try.
gathered
She's
here
trying the live
in
audience.
the chambers of the House of Burgesses. In 1705, the people of the Virginia colony gathered here to take on the extraordinary task of governing themselves. Before there was a Declaration of Independence, a Constitution, or a Bill of Rights, there were people in this room. The people
good
who
House of
served here
Burgesses
ultimately dreamed of what a new nation, unlike anything the world had ever
I
seen,
think
could
this is
be.
the first time we've had a
The
State of the Union
United
response
States
from
was
Williamsburg.
founded on the idea that ordinary people could reject the unacceptable excesses of poor leadership, band together to demand better of their government, and create a nation that would be an example for the world.
By the way, yes, Sam, she is live. This is like these
And
people were
this
sitting
year,
there waiting
as
for him
we
to
celebrate
finish.
250 years since America
first to do it
declared
from
our
Williamsburg.
independence
Oh,
from
interesting.
tyranny, I can think of no better place to speak to you.
Fourth
as we
Virginian this
reflect on
century
the
to do
current
the
state
response
of
to the
Fourth
State of the
Virginian
Union.
in 25 years.
Tim Kaine in
Tonight, as
06,
we
Jim Webb in
watched our
07, Bob
nation's
McDonnell in
lawmakers
2010,
gather
Abigail
for a
Spanberger in
joint
2010.
session of Congress, we did not,
Not
hear
just
the
the
truth
Virginia,
from
the
our
state
president.
of presidents. Take that, Ohio. The
So
state
let's
of
speak
presidential
plainly
responders.
and honestly. And let me ask you, the American people watching at home, 3 questions. Is the president working to make life more affordable for you and your family? Is the president working to keep Americans safe both at home and abroad? Is the president working for you? As I campaigned for governor last year, I traveled to every
Keep it
corner
simple,
of
stupid.
Virginia.
I know.
Smart framing.
Oh,
And I heard the
affordability,
same pressing concern
Security.
keeping you safe,
everywhere.
working for you.
Costs are too high.
You know, when
in
you ask the
housing,
question, who's
healthcare,
looking out for
energy,
you,
and
he doesn't score
childcare.
well on that one.
And I know these same conversations are being had all across this country. Because since this president took office last year, his reckless trade policies have forced American families to pay more than $1,700 each in tariff costs. Small businesses have suffered, farmers have suffered, some losing entire markets. Everyday Americans are paying the price.
Right. This is the problem with
And
this
even
economic
though the
message.
Supreme
It's
Court
like no matter
struck these
what he
tariffs down
says,
4 days ago, the damage
It's the
to
lived
us,
reality.
this is
the American
more
people,
reality.
It's just your
has
lived
already
reality,
been
and that's
done.
the thing on the economy.
Meanwhile, the
You
president
can-
is planning for new
you
tariffs,
can make
another
people-
massive
You can
tax
convince
hike
people you've stopped
on
8
you
wars.
and your
You
family.
can convince people
And
like,
Republicans in
you know,
Congress,
you weren't
Cambodia.
paying attention
They
to what
remain
happened there in
unwilling
the
to
in
assert
one part of
their
Africa.
constitutional authority to stop him.
They're not there to
They're
fact check you on
making
that.
your
They're not at
life
Safeway
harder.
or Giant.
They're
But at the
making
grocery store,
your
they get
to
life
fact
more
check you.
expensive. They're
And
even making
They're
it
fact
more
checking them.
difficult
They don't need
to
you
see
and
a
I to
doctor.
do
I
it.
know.
Rural health clinics in Virginia and across the country are already closing their doors thanks to the so-called One Big Beautiful Bill, championed by the president and Republicans in Congress. And tonight, the president celebrated this law, the one threatening rural
They
hospitals,
said you have a regular show
stripping
together. We
healthcare
do one
from
every
millions of
Monday.
Every
Americans
Monday
and
on the
driving
Chris
up
Cillizza
costs
Substack
We're
machine,
going to
right?
do
energy,
much more.
Which you're doing
housing,
Substack, and you're going
all
to catch
while
us.
cutting
Oh,
food
next
programs
Tuesday,
for
a week from
hungry
tonight.
kids.
I made the Chuck Todd
But
cast
here in
cut.
Virginia,
And you
I
finally-
am
I finally
working
decided
with our
to bring
state
mine, yeah.
legislature to lower costs and make the Commonwealth
the first
more
check clear.
affordable.
But yes, but people are asking, I see a bunch of people asking, yes, we are doing
And
next
it's not just me.
Tuesday.
Democrats
Election night,
across
us,
the country are
yeah,
laser
this is
focused on
SHQ.
affordability.
The great Jeffrey
in our
Skelly.
nation's
Jeffrey Skelly,
capital
our friend
and
there.
in
This is
state
SHQ.
capitals and
Texas
communities
primaries.
across
Every-
America. in the most
election
innovative
data
and exceptional nation in the
person
history of
you
the
love
world.
will be on
Americans deserve to
live stream.
know that their leaders are focused on addressing the problems that
gotta get
keep
started
them
cooking
up
that,
at
by
night.
the way.
Problems
I gotta
that
make-
dictate
I'm
where
making
you
promises
live,
on
whether
air.
you
I
can
gotta
afford to
confirm them.
start a business or whether you have to skip a prescription in order to buy groceries. So I'll ask again, is the president working to make life more affordable for you and your family? We all know the answer is no. I grew up in a house of service. My mother was a nurse, and my father was a career
By the
law
way,
enforcement officer. I began my
Good
career
for
by
her.
following in my
I hope
father's
people notice what
footsteps
she did,
as a
and it
federal
was just
agent
different than
working
just about
money
every other
laundering
State of
and
the Union
narcotics
response
cases.
in the modern
I
era.
worked side by side
She-
with local and
she
state
went to the
police
message
keep our
first.
community safe.
Now
and
she's
to
doing
now
her
the bio.
biography.
enforce the
I'm
law.
Gretchen Whitmer.
Every
and I
other
got
one
elected
does the
right.
biography, and
Across
it's
the
such an
country
awkward
know
start.
that it is a
Because
unique
you're like, well, we already kind of know,
responsibility
and
to do
so
the
and
serious
the
work
Acre already
of
gave you an
investigating
introduction and all
crimes,
this stuff.
comforting victims,
It
and making
just
arrests.
good
It's
for
about
you.
building trust.
That was just
and
a
that
smart
requires
way
an
of
abiding
flipping that,
sense of duty.
because you think, oh no, I should
commitment
introduce myself
to
first.
community.
No, get right
And
to the
yet,
point. And she
Our
got right to the
president
point.
has
Interesting.
sent poorly trained federal agents into our cities, where they have arrested and detained American citizens and people who aspire to be Americans. And they have done it without a warrant. They have ripped nursing mothers away from their babies. They have sent children, a little boy in a blue bunny hat, children to far-off detention centers, and they have killed American citizens in our streets. And they have done it all with their faces masked from accountability. Every minute spent sowing fear is a minute not spent investigating murders, crimes against children, or the criminals defrauding seniors of their life savings. Our president told us tonight that we are safer
So it's really interesting
because
what
these
she did
agents
there.
arrest mothers
The
and
Abigail
detain
Spanberger 2
children.
years ago would have felt
Think about
uncomfortable
that.
hitting
Our
ice.
broken
She's been
immigration
much
Yeah,
more
because
of
she
a
was
pro law
so
enforcement.
desperate to be right
not
in the
an
middle.
excuse
The point
for
is that this is how
unaccountable agents
badly
to
this has gone.
terrorize
The issue
our
has
communities.
moved.
The issue is
Yes.
moved where the mainstream position
Yep.
is take those masks off.
Yep.
This
After
warrantless
working in
business
law
is like
enforcement, I
people
continued
are
my
in
career
favor of
service as
deporting
a
It's
CIA
criminals.
officer,
because that
They are not
working
in favor of
undercover
these
to
tactics.
protect the
And
United
this is-
States and our
Look,
allies
she is
from
not
global
going
threats,
to
terrorism,
take a
nuclear
far
weapons,
left
and the
position that
aggression
doesn't play
of
in the middle.
adversarial
I'm just
nations
trusting
around
on
the
this.
Yeah.
globe.
She is not.
But as the president
This is not
spoke
who
of his
she is. It's
perceived
not her.
successes tonight,
That's
he
how much
continues
this
to
issue is.
cede
Yep.
They have
economic
screwed up
power
the
in
and
like 2.5
technological
months.
strength to Russia,
Remarkable.
bow down to China, bow down to a Russian dictator, and make plans for war with Iran. Here's the truth. Over the last year, through DOJ, mass firings, and the appointment of deeply unserious people to our nation's most serious positions, our president has endangered the long and storied history of the United States of America being a force for good. So I'll ask again, is the president working to keep Americans safe, both at home and abroad? We all know the answer is no. In his speech tonight, the president did what he always does. He lied, he scapegoated, and he distracted. And he offered no real solutions to our nation's pressing challenges, so many of which he is actively making worse. He tries to divide us. He tries to enrage us, to pit us against one another, neighbor
This is the Abigail
against neighbor.
Spanberger that has a lot of
Sometimes he
people wondering if
succeeds.
she's going to be on a national.
And so
I was
you
going to
have
say
to
that's why
ask,
she got elected governor.
who
Yeah.
benefits
This is-
from
there's
his
this,
rhetoric,
you know,
his
she's had to
policies,
start
his
in a more
actions,
partisan
the short
direction
list of
because of
laws
this
he's pushed through
redistricting
this Republican
mess,
Congress?
which is never
Somebody
the
must
best
be
look.
No.
benefiting.
But
He's enriching himself,
this is what
his family, his friends. The scale of the corruption is unprecedented.
I mean, she's not wrong when
There's
you
the cover-up
just
of
look
the
at crypto.
Epstein files,
By the
the
way, this is a very
cryptos,
succinct 10 minutes.
cozying
She's-
up to foreign princes for airplanes and billionaires for ballrooms, putting his name and face on buildings all over our nation's capital. This is not what our founders envisioned, not by a long
And
shot.
picking Rome first. Rome first. Invoking the founder.
So I'll ask again, is the president working for you? We all know the answer is no.
It's not often that
here's
in
the
a
special
quick
thing
10-minute speech
about
you can
America.
get a refrain to
On our
suddenly become,
250th
I ask you
anniversary,
again.
We know better than any nation
very well
what is
delivered,
possible
very
when
well written,
ordinary
very
citizens,
well
like those
Yep.
who once dreamed right here
just
in this
flows
room,
very
It's
well.
not an easy thing
reject
to do,
the
especially
unacceptable
at
And
this
it's after
hour.
11
and
o'clock.
I
more
was gonna say.
of their government.
But in this day and
We
age,
see it
people
in
will
the
go check this out on
determination
YouTube.
of
Totally.
They'll go
students
listen to the whole
organizing
speech.
school
Go
walkouts
watch like a
all
chunk.
across the country, whose voices are becoming so powerful that the governor of Texas seeks to silence them. We see it in the bravery of Americans in Minnesota standing up for their communities, from peacefully protesting in sub-zero temperatures to carpooling children to school so that their immigrant parents are not ripped away from them in the parking lot. As a mother of 3 school-aged daughters, I am inspired by their bravery, but I am sickened that it is necessary. And Americans across the country are taking action. They are going to the ballot box to reject this chaos. With their votes, they are
Yes.
writing a
So
new story.
I talked to a
Such an
Democratic
important
consultant
word.
who said the reason that
Story.
Joe Biden won basically
In November,
was
I won
people
my
didn't
election
want
by
chaos
15
Correct.
points.
It's the
Even, they
COVID
might have
chaos.
even agreed with
No, it's the COVID chaos. That's
like
what
it
they
just,
didn't want.
I don't want this all the time,
And we
24 hours a
won
day.
13 new
like
seats
that
in our
word,
state
I think, is-
legislature.
It's not just that. And the other issue is
Because
chunk of
voters
voters that
decided
moved
they wanted
from
something
Biden
different.
to Trump
Our
Mhm.
campaign earned votes from
thought they were
Democrats,
getting first-term
Republicans,
Trump.
independents,
Mm.
and
And they've
everyone
gotten a
in
different Trump,
between.
Mhm.
which
Because
is why
they
the
knew
Latino
as
voters are like
citizens
Oh,
they
running
could
I saw
away
his
demand
from him.
numbers.
more,
Amy
that they
Walter,
could vote
mean,
for
they look
what
like
they
Democrats
believe
young
again.
people and
matters,
Latinos
and that
are
they
like
didn't
Yeah.
need to be
They
constrained by
they
a
were
party or
reluctant
political
members of the
affiliation.
coalition. There was a
This
rejection of
is
Kamala,
happening
and it was an
across the
opportunity
country.
for
New
Trump.
Jersey
And he's
elected
already
Mikey Sherrill as governor in a double-digit victory. Democrats flipped state legislative seats in places like Georgia, Iowa, Mississippi, and Texas. The list goes on and on. Ordinary Americans are stepping up to run in the spirit of our forefathers. They are running to demand more and to do more for their neighbors and communities. I know this story well. I first ran for office in 2018 alongside dozens of other
You're right.
Democrats.
Good job of like
who did
weaving.
the
First of
seemingly
all,
impossible,
she did the workman like
flipping
stuff. Is Donald
41
Trump working for
but
you?
she
in
did it-
Is Donald Trump
right.
working to make it
In my
affordable?
case,
And then
I was the
weave your
first
personal
Democrat
stuff in
elected
later.
in
Without
50
making it about
years,
you.
swinging
No,
our
it's-
district
Or the like
17
super like
points.
I'm like
Those
Katie
who are
Britt. I'm a
stepping
mom
up
and I
now
did this, or
to
Gretchen
run
Whitmer. You
will
know what I mean?
win
Like
No,
in
it's just more
November,
natural.
because Americans, you at home, know you can demand
I mean,
more.
the last decent
and that we are
response
working
was
to
Jim
lower
Webb,
costs.
who also
We
did a
are
very
working to
simple,
keep
he didn't have
our
an audience,
communities and
sat in
our
a
country
chair,
safe,
it just
and we
boom, and it was
are
a
working
very
for
just
you.
on message point without being-
In his farewell address, George Washington warned us about the possibility of, quote, cunning, ambitious, and unprincipled men rising to power. But he also encouraged us, all Americans, to unite in a common cause, to move this nation forward. That is our charge once more, and that is what we are seeing across the country. It is deeply American and patriotic to do so, and it is how we ensure that the state of our union remains strong, not just this year, but for the next 250 years as well, because we, the people, have the power to make change, the power to stand up for what is right, the power to demand more of our nation.
You know what's not in
No
this
Epstein
speech? I just
files
want to point out.
mentioned.
No
May God
Epstein,
bless the
no
Commonwealth
abolish
of
ICE.
Virginia, and
Like,
may God
it's-
bless the United States of America.
Right. So
This
that's,
was
I thought that was good.
it's a really good response.
Yeah, I thought
It's
that
a-
was good. And
it's-
again, if you take one thing from it, Donald Trump isn't working for you.
right. No,
Right.
it was simple. You had a simple message. I mean, it really is one of those. This is how you teach sort of like delivering political message.
Totally.
Like, look, it is, you're never going to outshine the president in this moment.
No.
Right. It's the president's night.
You get 10 minutes. He gets as much time as he wants.
But she provided the sound bites that are easy for everybody
Yep.
to pick out.
Yep.
He's not
And
working for you.
affordability,
Right.
not working for you, not
Yeah.
keeping his promises.
No,
All right. So
that was pretty good. You'll see, that is why her buzz will remain.
I love doing this. Chuck and I are friends, which I always hope shows. I'm a big believer in like, yeah, I know. I'm taking liberties. It is
Honestly,
late.
I have I have so few friends.
I
sure,
did see someone say, Chris, are you staying over at Chuck's tonight?
Yeah.
No, we're not doing a sleepover. I live close to here. But
Me
Chuck
too.
and I are friends, which like we've been doing this together, not this close together, but
Yeah.
together for a long time. We like doing it.
Yeah.
I love doing this kind of thing. I just want to shout out C-SPAN and
Yes.
YouTube for helping us make this
Absolutely.
happen, and Chuck's team
Yeah, Lauren and Nasa
for
in
helping
particular.
us make this happen, and our friends at YouTube, Jeremy and Peter and everybody over there. For
Thank
helping
you,
make it.
YouTube. This has been great. I mean, you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it allowed us to do this thing, which has literally been a thing I've always wanted to do. And I get people who are like, it was too loud, it was too soft, you guys talk too much, you guys didn't talk enough. Look, this is a work in progress. We are hoping certainly that this is a first of many.
Yeah, we'll take some feedback. I
Yeah.
mean, we could, there's political conventions. We're going to be doing a bunch of primary nights. Again, there may not be many primary nights we're not doing this.
That's exactly right.
Because I think this is a huge year. And my God, it kicks off next week where both parties' internal divides are fully on display.
First big vote
in Texas Republicans and Texas Democrats. It's outstanding for a junkie like us.
And we have Jasmine Crockett, James Tellerico, both of whom have national profiles as Democrats in Texas. We have Ken Paxton, the one man who might be able to lose Texas for Republicans, right? We have John Cornyn, the incumbent senator who's trying to survive. I mean, there's so many storylines. We are going to get into them, and we just want to plug it because we are doing it again with our friends at Decision Desk.
And we'll be all over. We're gonna be able to simultaneously do YouTube and all of our social platforms.
And we
and
are,
both of our channels.
and because we have Decision Desk HQ, we are going to be able to call races
much
sooner than the networks call races, folks. So if you care about election coverage, we hope you tune in next week. I would say if you don't follow Chuck if you don't subscribe to Chuck on YouTube, just go do it. It's easy. If you don't subscribe to me on YouTube,
I'm not charging yet.
Just go do it. It's easy.
Not charging at all. All of my stuff's for free.
Yeah, Chuck's stuff is free. I need to make a living.
I do. All of it is for free. I'm doing it.
His Substack is very much beyond the pod. You can just type Chuck Todd in Substack.
Put a new one up today.
And the other thing is the thing that I think you spend most of your time on, the bulk is the Chuck Toddcast.
And then of course, look, those supporting independent media, both Chris and I are part of Newsphere, which is a cutting edge collection of independent operators in a slightly different platform, but it is a lot of video centric, a lot of foreign correspondents in hotspots, people on the ground in Iran, in Ukraine, in Cuba, believe it or not. So it's a very impressive set of people, and they have a couple of political hacks like us on there too.
I would just say, like,
check out Newsphere.
Chuck and I are believers in trying different things. I just think this era of journalism, yes, there's a lot of challenges. Yes, there's a lot of risks. There's also a lot of opportunity. And I think this is evidence of the opportunity and the community that you can build.
What I enjoyed about this opportunity is a way to explain, like, sort of not just how we like to watch politics, but sort of like how you should watch it all these different ways. Look for political sloganeering, look for actual policies that are being introduced,
look for what the other side is doing.
And in some ways, look, we're just trying to serve as guideposts to saying, look, that's propaganda crap, but hey, no, that's a new policy proposal. Let's see if that has any traction, those sorts of things. And we love having you along for the ride.
Yes.
We want to do more
questions. Yeah, we want to do more. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your support. And just the biggest thank you. Thank you to YouTube. Thank you to
thank you to my buddy Sam Feist.
Sam Feist, our guy.
He was absolutely looking at taking C-SPAN and doing new things.
Doing cool new things with it.
Look, our man Brian Lamb might not have trusted Chris and I to do this. And I love you, Brian. And I know you might be catching the end of this. But Sam knows what he's doing.
We love it. And to our friends Ezra and Krishna and Rafa at YouTube, thank you. We hope this is, like we said, next Tuesday, a week from tonight, we will be live. We will not be together, but we will be live.
We don't have to land on a break. I'm ready to go to bed.
And we're going to bed. I'm not sleeping over at Chuck's house. Take care, everyone. Be well. So just hit, I think they'll, the only